Ah, man, what a fun time. All right.
Okay.
So this is pretty much it. This is going to be episode 3 of The Ant Hill,
Mm-hmm.
starring, not featuring, Addison Hall.
That's right. I'm the star of it.
You are the star of this one.
Mm-hmm. My name comes first.
The star of David, you little Polish boy.
Mm-hmm. It's entirely possible I'm Jewish, too, so.
It is entirely possible. It's entirely possible you paid for the production of this then, huh?
Entirely possible.
It's entirely possible you own Hollywood, isn't it?
I wish. Dude, if I owned Hollywood, you don't think I'd be pushing the bald agenda?
If you owned Hollywood, what's like the first thing you would, like, is that what you would do? You would make movies with bald people in it?
Let's see. We're taking this seriously? You want me to do a joke?
You can take it either way you want.
Okay, so
We'll leave it up to me and whoever watches to decide.
So honestly, I do think pushing bald dudes would be hilarious. I think pushing movies where it's just one average-looking person, I think would be hilarious. Like Matthew McConaughey, and then like some checkout lady, some like thick gal who bags groceries all day.
I think Terry Crews would love to get back in movies without someone touching him.
Yeah, right. That'd be good.
Yeah.
And that or like do an action movie where they're all slightly overweight. That'd be funny.
I think that would be pretty cool. Yeah, it would be like a parody movie kind of thing.
Well, I'm
It'd be
thinking-
like
I'm
Tropic
thinking-
Thunder.
Yeah, I'm thinking like terrorists take over an amusement park, and the people on like the hover rounds are the ones that have to stop it. You know what I mean?
Yes.
We have a whole chase scene, a low speed chase.
Like Paul Blart Mall Cop?
Yeah, but I'm talking. Because he's like, haha, I'm funny, but not like horribly. I want some heavy set people. You know what I mean? Like some, when you see a big one,
Like
big
Fat
one,
Bastard.
yeah, when you see a big one in Walmart, and you're like, damn, that's a big boy.
Yeah.
That's a big boy.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
V8 right there.
Mhm. Yeah. That guy's a Hemi.
Yeah, dude.
That one has some exhaust. You know what I mean? Some
12
diesel.
cylinder Audi with the belly button sticking out.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's for some reason they're always this slightly sticking out for some reason.
Because
Yeah. Yeah,
about
dude.
to pop.
It was funny. Like how like neighborhood the kids will like they all kind of like fall into categories. You know what I mean? When you're growing up,
Yes.
our fat kid, and he was a big boy, never wore shoes. I don't know why I just remembered that, but shout out to Chris. I'm sure he's still bouncing around there somewheres.
Bobby used to never wear shoes in my neighborhood.
Yeah,
He wasn't like a fat kid, but you know what I mean? Like, he was a chubby boy.
he's a big boy, heavy set.
There was this one kid, Robert. He used to, before I moved, the first neighborhood.
Mhm.
But he was like a big kid, and like it was cool because like me and him were like best friends when the show Robin Big came out. I mean, we're
Okay.
still really good friends. I still talk to him, but like we stayed down the street from each other, so we'd hang out all the time. And like
Mhm.
Robin Big, that was pretty much us.
Yeah,
Skinny
R.I.P.
little
Big.
white, skinny little white kid, big black guy.
Fitz, Robin Big.
Yeah, and since Robin Big would skateboard, me and it's funny. So like Rob was the white guy, but like my friend was Robert.
Mhm.
And yeah, since they would skateboard, me and Robert would try to skateboard. And I'll never forget one time, man. You know the hot dog king? You know the hot dog king right up the street?
I know the hot dog king.
He tried to grind on the on a skateboard. He tried to grind on the curb right there, but it's like it's not as easy as the pros make it look.
Yeah.
Boy, did he bust his ass.
Yeah, dude.
So hard.
Dude, I was friends with some skaters. I used to watch those dudes bust the fuck out of themselves.
You ever seen a 300-pound skater bust his ass?
No, I have not. That sounds awesome.
That
I want to
hits-
watch
that.
it.
Hits on a whole nother level.
Ooh, that just seems like that's gonna tickle you. Like if I'm a 30-year-old man, if I saw like a heavy set 13-year-old carrying a skateboard, I'm like, well, I gotta see where this is gonna go.
Yeah, dude.
Like if I was sitting in a parking lot, like waiting for my girl to come out of the store, I was like, well, I know what I'm doing now. I'm gonna watch this kid bust his ass.
You want to know what's kind of funny is when I saw that happen, because we were kids and we were skating. He wasn't 300 pounds. He was a big kid. He was probably like, as a kid, he was probably like coming up on 200. And he did you remember that episode of Robin Big where Big tried to go down the ramp and just immediately ate shit?
No.
Oh, yeah,
I
dude.
don't have this. I don't have that much memory of
Dude.
Robin Big. I remember like the opening song and stuff.
Yeah, dude. It was they were like they would skate and shit, and then Rob was like, "I'm gonna teach you how to go down a half pipe." So as soon as like he leaned down, he just the board shoots out from under him, and he just just falls and busts his ass.
Yeah, dude.
Excuse me. That's what Robert did, and then several years later, I went to hang out with him because I would see him like every couple months or something like that. One time I saw him, he was on crutches, like his leg was really really fucked up, and I was like, "Yo, what happened?" He was like, "I was riding a bike and it broke and I blew my knee out," and And I was like, damn, like I felt really bad, but I just thought of him busting his ass when we were kids, and I was like, man, I bet that was
Just on a bike
pretty funny too.
Just on a bike with a horn and just falls apart, busts his knee. Isn't it funny how like shit like that will stick with you?
Yeah, dude.
Like you know something that's burning in my memory?
What's that?
I had a buddy named Brandon, and we were playing outside, and there was this wasp nest, like up in the corner of. He had like an L-shaped house, and like you know how there's like little stoop to get up the front door, so it's like right there in the corner. And he got stuck between a closed locked door and the storm door with a bunch of wasps. He got stuck. And he kept trying to kick the door open, and he was just
rattling the wasp.
And he was just getting the shit stung out of him, but he couldn't get out because every time he kicked the door, it would bounce, and like the little can would catch it, so it would start closing slowly again. So he was just stuck in between a hard space and the door, with this wasp stinging the fuck out of him.
He was caught between a wasp and a hard place.
Yeah, dude, I think about that probably once a month, and I'm 30 years old. That happened 25 years ago.
Dude,
24 years ago.
That's a big bummer, especially when you're a kid and you're like, that kid thought he was gonna die for sure.
Oh yeah, dude. That kid's day was ruined.
He thought that was the end.
That kid's day was ruined. That kid's dad's night was ruined when he got home.
Oh yeah.
You know, that was no fun.
And that kid's mom probably over-exaggerated the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
What a bummer.
And how much it sucks to be that mom, because like you come home and your kid is in pain and his friends are laughing at him.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's funny. I don't know if I ever went home with all the kids laughing at me, you know, in pain and all that good stuff. I've had my share of tumbles, but I don't know that I ever, you know.
I got pretty fucked up a couple times. We used to fight other kids in the neighborhood. So I've definitely come home with like a bloody nose and stuff like that.
Why didn't you use gloves?
Well, we use gloves here and there, but sometimes, like I remember one time we had gloves and we were in a deflating kiddie pool with water in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we were like boxing. We were probably like 11. It was weird. Boxed my friend Dylan.
Okay.
Shout out Dylan.
I got a friend named Dylan. Shout out Dylan.
Shout out Dylan. Yeah, I wonder if it's the same Dylan.
Is it?
I don't know.
Huh. What's his last name?
I don't know. I don't remember any of my fucking childhood friends' last names.
Probably not the same. Yeah, it's weird. I'm so bad at names, but once I remember people, I'm like, all right, I remember.
I know faces. I'm really good with faces. You know, so this is funny. Last Thursday, so 2 years ago when Kazi's first opened after the pandemic, right?
Yeah.
This dude went there, got super drunk during the open mic, and then like got aggressive with like the wait staff. And me and Nick were there. You were there as well. Do you remember this guy? The guy who, like, Nick kept saying, I'm going to fuck you up, and then he tried to fight me. And I went, yeah, we can do that, but you got to pay your tab first. He was there last Thursday, and I walked up to him and was like, hey, man, do you remember me? And he went, nah. I was like, don't worry, buddy. Just walked away.
That was so funny because he said something about nobody could beat him up, and you were like, all right, let's go. And he was like, nah, I'm good.
Yes, literally what the story was like he looked at Nick, he went, look, I want to fight you because I respect you. You, on the other hand, you are a bitch. And I went, okay, man, I'll fight you, but you have to pay your tab first. And he went, nah.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
I think the main thing I took away from that was he said that you guys were really funny, and he just, like, looked at me.
I remember that in the moment.
I remember that.
I thought that's always, isn't that funny how that's, like, always, like, the funniest thing is when you're hanging out with your comic friends, and two of them get, like you're funny, and then, like, the other one gets left out, and you're all like...
Like, they don't even look at you, you know what I mean?
Oh, yeah, it hurts. Oh,
they
that
just
hurts
keep
so
it
much.
moving.
Yeah. Dude, I think I've told this story before, but, like, I got the host for Giannis Papas up at Sandman a couple years ago. And Friday night, you were there. I had a really hot one. I had a really great set.
I was there.
And at the end of the night, I'm standing next to the featured Tabari McCoy, and he's selling merch, and Giannis starts coming down, and I'm like, I'm going to get it. Doesn't get the nod. I'm going to fucking get it, dude.
Yeah.
And he walks up to Tabari. He's like, hey, man, great stuff tonight. And then he looked at me, dead in the face, and went, I'll see you tomorrow, man. And it hurt so bad. I wanted it so bad. It hurt so much. Oh, man. Yeah, I think about that every once in a while. That still stings when I think about it, because you want it so bad.
That's so funny.
Yeah.
That's so funny.
Have you had any of that happen yet? Because you're starting to work a little bit.
Nah, man, all the headliners I host for tell me I did great.
Oh, fuck you.
I mean, I've only worked with a couple.
Yeah.
So it's like I did work with one, and the first dude I hosted for at Kazi's, man, he told me, like, I don't know. He told me I was funny, but he was more interested, like, because Nick was there too.
Mm-hmm.
And he just kept talking about how, like, he could tell Nick was funny. He was like, man, I'd like to see some of your stuff. Like, I know you're funny. I know you're funny.
Just hitting on Nick.
Yeah, pretty much. While I was, like, right there, and I'm like, damn, dude,
I'm
like,
funny.
I had a good 10 minutes yesterday, remember?
I think it's. I love the idea of looking at someone and be like, that guy's funny.
Yeah. I mean, I guess in
Do you
a
think
sense.
does that guy pull up to like a fucking like Wendy's and is like, man, that guy's funny. I bet I could tell. Like looking at that guy's. Like, it's just shout out a guy making a burger in the back. It's like, yo, you got a Type 5?
Yeah.
I bet you got some killer shit about making burgers.
Yeah.
That joke petered out. I didn't know where I wanted to go
tight
with it.
$5 biggie bag.
Oh yeah, dude.
There we go.
Pack full of jokes, dude.
Yeah.
Jokes spilling out, dude.
That faux.
Faux, dude.
There you go. There it is.
Yeah, man. I don't know, man. Like that's like to me, I think is always like has been the funnest part about comedy. Is just these weird shows and like weird people you get to meet.
You meet a lot of weirdos.
I meet a lot of weirdos. Yeah, yeah. Like I had. I'm sure I've told you the story before, but like I remember like, Brandon Romo Ramirez, a friend of ours. We were at a mic at a place called Zeke's. I'm sure you've heard us talk about Zeke's. Because Zeke's was, for local guys, was like one of our favorite mics. It happened on Friday night. And this fucking Navy guy was there. And, you know, clearly on coke. And you know how coke energy is. They're fucking up. They're amped. They're fucking really on top and tense.
Was it John Gilbreth?
That guy doesn't do cocaine. No one, no.
I'm just playing. I just know he's a Navy guy.
He's a Navy guy. But this dude was some dude I've never met before. And for some reason, Brandon invited this guy with us. So we went down to Southern Eats to get food. And the whole time he's just like pacing the table, just like walking in a circle around us eating food. And then he invited us to his friend's birthday party.
All right.
That was happening at Baxter Sports Lounge.
And only Brandon went?
No, Brandon couldn't go. Baxter, he wasn't 21 yet. So my favorite part of the whole night is us showing up to this girl's birthday party. Which I don't know if you've ever gone to a birthday party that you did not know the person.
I thought you were about to ask that. I don't know if you've ever been to a girl's birthday party before, but
no, like just like a stranger's birthday party. And it wasn't like a huge. There was 5 people at our table. We almost doubled the number of people by showing up.
Wow, nobody liked that girl.
I just think she was keeping it tight, and this all of a sudden a bald guy. It was Joe Parlow was the other guy who showed up with me.
Oh, that's so funny.
So it's just some fucking big bald idiot and fucking Joe's giant ass. Those 2 big dudes just out of nowhere. I'm like, so it's your birthday.
Happy birthday.
She's like, what the fuck is happening?
Nice.
So and comedy does that, man. You get some weird moments.
Yeah, there's some characters in comedy.
Yeah. There's that guy who wants to kill you.
There's a guy that wants to kill me.
Mm-hmm.
I think he will one day.
Probably.
I think he will.
Be a great story.
I felt a lot better when he said I had a cool shirt the other day, though.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, all right, maybe he's not going to kill me.
Maybe
he's going to kill me and take my shirt.
Yeah, maybe you should rip his bits, you know?
I do not want those.
Maybe show up with like a speaker and a mic and plug it in when you get up on stage. That'd be good.
I should do that. Like, just like go to a club that's like, I mean, I get it. They've got their own sound system, but wouldn't it be better if I brought my own to the fucking comedy club?
What if it said Ant? What if it had a handguard that said Ant on it, though?
Like brass knuckles?
Yeah. Be pretty cool.
What if I got one that said like Ant and the other one that said Perez? And then when I go like
Double
this, it says
fisting?
Perez Ant.
Just double fisting mics?
Yeah.
That'd be cool. I'd like that.
I think that would be cool if I just like talked into both mics at once.
Double fisting mics. I've been a big proponent of double fisting mics for a while.
Really?
Mm-hmm. And then one can have like the left side and one can be tied to the right side, so you can talk into different ones.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah. Dang, that's a good idea. And you'd be like, what do you guys think? And then like you hold this away. And you go ask the other side of the room what they think.
Yeah. Like right side.
Yeah.
Left side. Just like get them to stand up. Yeah.
And then you can do them both. You're like, all together.
Mm-hmm.
All together.
I want to keep them divided, you know?
Yeah.
I like a good divided audience.
A good divided room.
You know?
But by the end of the show, I want half the people to be clapping and half the people to be booing.
Yeah, basically. That's basically what you want. Why have everyone like you, you know?
Yeah, I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's doable.
What, dividing the room? Or
No, getting everyone to like you.
It's tough. I think that's really tough. Because the thing is like, even if you do like really middle of the road stuff, there's still gonna be a couple people who like they went to the comedy club because they wanted something dirtier.
Yeah.
So.
But if you give them that, there's some people like, I didn't really like that.
Well, I think the thing is you just gotta learn to read the room, and like I think that's a huge thing to learn for new guys is like learning to kind of catch the vibe of the room.
Yeah.
Like Saturday was a great example. Saturday threw me so much, and I think it's just because I went up after the host, so then the host is familiar with the room. Everyone in the room's familiar with the host.
Right.
But like that was like the weird thing. I've had crowds talk before, and I'm pretty good about addressing people talking.
Yeah.
Very rarely have I had people be able to talk to me. Fucking my phone is blowing up now that I'm fucking on a podcast. Talking at me close enough that I can hear them, and also the room's small enough that everyone else is hearing them.
Right.
So it'd be kind of thing where I'll do a punch, and then a lady would be like, "What?" And this. So it'd be like, "Yeah, I look like Caillou with a couple DUIs under their belt," and they'd be like, "Or like Mr. Clean." And so it's like, "Yes, yeah, thank you,
Yeah.
It's like tagging jokes. It was weird.
Yeah. Dang. That's crazy because sometimes I never know what to do with that either. At the Poor Girl show.
You had a hot one. Saturday night.
Dude, that was so much fun.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. And they were letting me get away with everything I wanted to say, too. That was always good.
Well, they seemed like they were down. They were pretty.
Yeah, when I said nasty shit to that old lady and, like, their place just went nuts. God, that was so funny, man.
Yeah.
And then she told me imagine getting told by a 65-year-old woman, you're not cute enough for her to give you head.
Oh man, that's hilarious.
Yeah, dude.
That makes me happy, actually.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I've had some weird ones, man. I've had some weird crowd interactions. You know, there's this dude. There used to be this place called Stillwater Tavern.
Okay.
And it's a shithole in Hampton. It's a terrible bar.
It's in Hampton.
Yeah, and this kid named White Bowman ran the mic for like probably 6 months or something.
I've heard of the guy.
Yeah. So the thing was it was the only Wednesday mic on this side of the water. So all the guys on this side of the water tend to go to it. It was like me, Nick Dees, Marshall Malky, which I don't think you ever met him, Ian Nightingale, guys like that. So it was like a handful of us. And there was a regular there that we eventually became friends with, but his name was Frank. And this dude, where the stage was, is he would literally have to walk past us to go to the bathroom. And so you know it's the coke walk. You know, it's every fucking 5 minutes to 7 minutes he just goes to the bathroom, is in there for like a minute, comes back out. You know, just doing little bumps of coke. And he got upset with some bit and like started walking towards the stage. And it was a wireless mic. And I was on the stage. And I forget what I said to him. I said something. And he's like, usually at this point, I just break your arm. And he's like this little old dude.
Little old dude?
Yeah, he wasn't a big guy. He was probably in his late 40s to early 50s. Not a young spry chicken or nothing. So this is like me back in the day. So I'm probably 6 months in the comedy at that point. So like I'm still like, this is me who was like used to work out all the time, and I was probably still using pills. So
okay,
I just remember I hopped down in front of the guy and went, "Okay, now what?" And he went, pfft, and just walked off. And I was like, "Okay."
He pshed you.
Yeah, which is always funny. We ended up becoming friends though. And that's like the weird interaction you get with comedy. I don't think music guys get that a lot. I don't think you playing an acoustic guitar leads to someone going, "I'm gonna break your arm."
Yeah, I've never seen somebody get heckled for doing a cover song.
Yeah. Boo.
Yeah.
Boo, that sucks. Do something else. Yeah. Do Candle in the Wind.
Yeah,
no.
dude.
Yeah.
Candle in the Wind. What's that?
Like a candle in the wind, whatever that is.
Yeah, what is that?
It's like a candle in the wind. It blows out. It's all about how like we're all gonna die soon. Not really a chipper song, to be honest.
Who sang it?
I don't know. Old white guy, probably.
Was it Elton John?
I don't think so. I don't think it was Elton John, no. Elton John did Tiny Dancer, which is pretty good.
I just know there's a lyric to a song, and it goes something like Like Elton John with a candle in the wind, but it's hard to blow out a flame as big as him.
That's a pretty good line.
Yeah, that's a bar.
He was a big flaming homo for sure. Still is.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like his music though.
Nobody ever blew him out.
That we know of.
His flame burns.
I don't know. Probably not burning as brightly as it used to, you know?
Yeah.
Think he get that old? That dude has to be in his late 70s. You think he's still trying to get dick?
I mean, it's not like he's got to get it up. Someone does, though, right?
Oh, you think he's a bottom?
Probably.
Yeah.
I saw the shit he wore.
Telling me crazy glasses leads you being a bottom?
Yeah, dude.
Sorry, so by your logic, would you be like a rather straight-laced bottom then?
If there were like 1970 glasses that looked as cool as the 2020 glasses that people wore at New Year's, dude, he would have wore them.
Oh, he definitely would have worn them.
He'd have had his eyes between the 6 and the 9.
That was his whole thing, is those wild sunglasses and like weird outfits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, though, you know?
Yeah, to stand out like that.
Yeah.
Do you think you could do comedy doing that?
No.
You don't think I could wear like a bedazzled jacket with like musical notes on it?
I don't think it would be a good idea.
What if I
distract people?
What if I had like
saying?
big glasses with like plastic turtles around the outside of them?
I mean,
and then I was up there being like, "Dating's weird, right, guys?"
yeah,
yeah.
Dude, I think that would be funny. Like, so I was on Tinder the other day, right?
Mm-hmm.
But you've got turtle glasses on.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, you guys ever been? Oh, we're going to the amusement park. And have to take your big turtle glasses off, and you have to put them in a little cubby before you go on the roller coaster.
Yeah, I'm not turtly enough. For
and you came back, and some 13-year-old stole your
pool.
Yeah. You ever lost your turtle glasses in a wave pool? And have to spend 15 minutes with your date looking through it, and you can tell her heart's not into it. She's not actually trying to find the turtle glasses. She almost seems happy they're missing.
Yeah. She just keeps saying, I don't know, and looking around like my son trying to find anything.
I don't know.
You know when you ask kids if they found something and they go looking for it?
Oh, they're the worst.
Like, they won't lift anything up. They will not look under anything.
They literally will look around, and if it's not in immediate sight, it's gone.
They do not know where it's
Yeah,
at.
it's gone. Yes, it's just like, I don't know.
And that's where the saying comes, if I go in there and find it, I'm going to beat you with it.
Yeah, there's a reason that's survived for so long.
Imagine getting beat with turtle glasses.
It'd be pretty awesome. It'd be a real bummer. If like your date's just like, look, if I have to go in that wave pool and find the turtle glasses, I'm gonna beat you with them.
And then she comes out,
just beats the fuck out of you. Then you have to drive home with like broken turtle glasses. Yeah. One of the turtles is missing, and you're like, fucking, these are my favorite pair.
Damn, dude, that would be funny. That would be the only thing funnier than wearing turtle glasses, is having like crooked, broken turtle glasses. Like you got beat up or something.
I think the funniest part would be, imagine being a lifeguard and you already see this dude who shows up and, you know, he's wearing green swimming trunks. He has a suit coat that he's wearing in the pool, no undershirt.
Yeah.
Turtle glasses. And he's with a girl who's like, I thought these were like kitschy pictures on Tinder, but no, this is actually how he dresses.
Right.
And he's just in the wave pool and you're like, this is going to be a problem. Then you see him lose his glasses. The girl finds him, then beats the fuck out of him. And you're just the whole time you're like, this is too much.
I'm sure lifeguards see people and they're like, yeah, this is, if something happens on this shift, it's going to be here.
Yeah.
That would be the one.
Mm-hmm.
Did you say with a suit shirt on?
Like, like a suit coat. I was seeing like a bedazzled green suit coat to go with his glasses and his matching swimming trunks.
I was just imagining like a fat kid in the pool with his shirt on, but his shirt is like the suit shirt, and he's got those glasses. Yeah. And the lifeguard's like, oh boy.
I like that this guy has apparently. So like that thought, right? He's wearing a shirt in a pool. Yeah. That means he has low self-esteem, but he also has this tendency of dressing very loud, so a lot of eyes are drawn to him. It's a real interesting personality.
Low self-esteem, but high cholesterol.
Yeah, we're creating a real person at this point.
Yeah, dude.
We've dived deep on this turtle glasses, man.
It's my player in Candyland.
It's like, this is who I am, dude. I'm Mr. Turtle. You know what's weird? I don't know. So I just thought about this. Water Country USA.
Yeah.
You been there?
Yeah.
You know, they have a wave pool.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah. So me and my buddy Brandon, and I'm probably 9 at the time, we're there. And I just remember, like, we kept going swimming deeper because, the deeper you go, the bigger the waves are. And I just remember we were there, and my buddy Brandon looking at me going, this is awesome. And then this, like, out of the corner of my eye, this fat person just comes over on a floaty, hits my buddy Brandon, washes him under, and then floats on. And my buddy Brandon disappears, and I look up, and there's this lifeguard just staring at the spot where Brandon was. Didn't make any sudden movements. Didn't go looking for him.
Just playing it safe, being vigilant.
Yeah, so I was like, oh, I hope that kid washes up.
Damn, dude.
Yeah.
It's a good thing you did.
Yeah. He washed up and spit a Band-Aid out, and then he was kind of done with the wave pool.
Imagine a lifeguard that's like watching someone drown, and they're like, I don't get paid enough for this.
Yeah, they wrote that fucking, there's a whole song about that.
Really?
Yeah. That's like the legend behind In the Air Tonight. Like supposedly someone watched someone drown.
And when you told me you were drowning,
yeah,
my paycheck didn't hit.
My favorite part about that is like, so like that legend is supposed to be like he saw someone watching someone drown. It's like technically you're also watching that guy drown.
Yeah, you can't just.
That's a real dick move.
Watch someone drown.
Yeah, you're like, you should have helped him. It's like, you should have helped him.
Yeah.
We both watched. But I don't know how real that story is, to be honest.
It's probably, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. It's always how it is. It's always just like they make myths around stuff.
Imagine going through all that just to be like, da-doon, 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 da-doon.
That's a pretty good build-up there. How awesome is that? He's just like,
did that really happen? He's like, no, it's not about that. Just wait. Just wait.
It's not at all. It just draws you in. Because you're like, oh my God, tell us more about this drowning man. And it's just like, do-do-do-do. This is the dopest drop.
Like how comics write like punchlines and then try to write the premise around it. Like he just, what's his name? Phil Jackson, Phil Knight. What the fuck is
Phil
his name?
something.
Phil Collins.
Phil Collins. Yes, there we go.
Yeah. But yeah. Imagine him just like sitting around. He's like, I've got it. He's like, do-doon, 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 do-doon. Mm-hmm. And they're like, all right, what else? He's like, I got to think of that part.
Yeah. So like, actually, I just really want to do this part on the drums. I don't really care about anything else in this song.
And wrote the other 3 minutes to go around it.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, if you listen to that song, that's kind of how it sounds.
I mean, nobody else knows anything else in that song.
No, not at all.
Do they do anything else cool with the drums in the air tonight?
I think they just keep doing it. Once it goes, and it sounds good. You know?
Yeah. Damn, that's kind of funny.
What a wild career that guy had. That guy was in a band called Genesis, right?
Yeah.
Where he was the drummer.
Yeah.
Then he went solo, made that song, and then made one of the best Disney soundtracks ever with fucking Tarzan.
Damn, he was a drummer?
Yeah.
And then he's known for a song with like 4 seconds of
drumming. Yeah. Isn't that weird? That's like his thing.
Yeah.
Then he had a really hot daughter.
He must have felt like Michael Jackson the first time he did the moonwalk. He's like, this is it.
Can you imagine me the first time you did that and you're like, I'm gonna make everyone think this is really cool?
You know, I've thought about that. You know, like, yeah, when you see something or like, it's like when you watch someone do like a no-look touchdown pass in the Super Bowl. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe I just saw that. Like, imagine watching wherever, like the Grammys or whatever it was, and then Michael Jackson's like doing this new song and then hits the moonwalk and you're like you don't even have DVR. You can't rewind it back.
Yeah, you trying to explain that to people?
You can't get on TikTok and see like all the reaction videos or anything. You just have that, and you're like, oh my God, what did he just do?
It must have been weird being like this, like a day-to-day person, or Michael Jackson is like you know of him, but you don't actually like follow him.
Yeah,
and you just see him every once in a while, and just every time you see him, he's lighter.
Yeah,
that must have been wild. It goes from like having an afro and being this little kid.
I bet you back when it happened, some people thought the moonwalk was fake.
Yeah. he was trying to.
What was that, in the 60s or something?
No, that was the 80s. Yeah.
They said the moonwalking was staged.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, for sure. Oh yeah. You believe in that? You conspiracy guy?
Some of them are cool.
Yeah.
As I got older and I realized like Tupac's actually dead, I started to like lose faith in the rest of the conspiracies too.
See, I never got why that was the conspiracy people believed.
I held on to the wrong one.
Yeah. The one that's like I like the most. I just think it's hilarious is the JFK one, because even the JFK one, everyone's like, yeah, something happened there. Like even like the government at this point is like, yeah, something happened there.
Yeah, they're like, we can't tell you.
Like, well, like they had like apparently like there were some documents that were supposed to be released, and then they were like, actually, we're gonna make it another 50 years where it has to be top secret.
They're like, yeah, let's just kind of hang on to these.
Yeah, there's like 4 or 5 guys still bopping around who are not dead, who we would have to like put in jail.
Right.
Just because we shot the fucking president in the face.
Nah, man, the dude that shot the president didn't get to go on trial. Did you know that?
What? Yeah, you talking about Oswald?
Yeah, they smoked that fool in like the parking garage or something.
Yeah, but no, I'm saying like the other guys who might have been involved.
Oh yeah, but
Yeah.
you know what I mean. Like there was no way to. He couldn't snitch because someone ran up on him and smoked his boots.
Oh yeah, and it's funny. The guy who smoked his boots just happened to have cancer, terminal cancer.
Really?
Yeah. Isn't that, all the things fall into place. You know what's weird? This is so dark. And this will just tell you how weird I am. You know what I watched a couple times last night?
What'd you watch?
The video of Ronald Reagan's attempted assassination.
Oh yeah,
You ever seen that?
Sirhan?
No. What was the guy?
Nah, that was a guy from
Sirhan was something else.
That was the other Kennedy.
Yeah, it was. That was
Robert
Bobby.
Kennedy.
Yeah, it was Bobby.
No,
I forget the name of the dude who shot Reagan. Basically, was like
John Hinckley Jr.
Yeah, and he thought he was gonna get a blowjob from that girl from Taxi Driver.
I thought he thought he was gonna get some head from Reagan.
Yeah, that'd be sick. He was so upset of not getting head. He shot Reagan.
Reaganomics. It's not. Oh, never mind. It's trickle down, not top down.
Yeah, well, it's trickle down, dude. He got shot, and then everyone else had to get shot in the 80s because of it.
He thought he was gonna get top down.
Yeah, dude, it was a violent decade.
Yeah.
Yeah. Top
Man,
down,
that's
dude.
crazy.
The president gets shot. A whole bunch of other people have to get shot.
Man, they used to do that a lot, didn't they? They used to always try to kill the president, if you think about it.
Well, it was probably easier back then.
Yeah.
You know? Now there's like all these pesky cameras. You know, back in the day, you could look around and see if a guy's holding a big box. If he's not, you can shoot the president.
Yeah, there was
get away with it. There was a bunch of them, dude.
Yeah, what's that other guy's name? William McKinley or something like that.
Yeah.
Didn't they smoke his boots?
There's a few other presidents who got smoked. Abraham Lincoln, obviously. Someone tried to kill Andrew Jackson, but get this. So Andrew Jackson was like a hard ass. He's a bad person. I'll just say that now. But he was a hard ass. He was like a veteran. He'd been like literally tortured by the English when he was a child during like the Revolutionary War. A dude tried to assassinate him, came up on him with 2 pistols, both misfired, and then Andrew Jackson's bodyguard had to pull Andrew Jackson off the guy who tried to kill him because he almost beat him to death with his cane.
Damn, son. You know
how bad luck is that? Where you go up against some hard ass old guy and both of your guns misfire, and then that dude beats the fuck out of you with a silver cane.
Like the 1800s, right?
Yeah, it's probably like 1850.
He probably bought like a $2 pistol.
Yeah,
and it jammed on him.
Well, back then it's all like powder load stuff, so it can be really easy to powder out wet or shit like that.
Oh yeah, I guess that's true. Man, there was that one president who somebody was talking shit and he challenged him to a duel.
Yeah, that was Andrew Jackson's that guy.
Was that Andrew Jackson?
Andrew Jackson did that a few times. Him and someone else. There was someone else that he was like they were like famous for it.
It was I don't even remember, dude. Where's
But he was known for like smoking dudes. He was like known for like doing duels.
Yeah, but he one of them that did it. He John Adams maybe.
I wanted to say John Adams.
It
might
have been John Adams, but yeah, he they said he had like a chest plate or something. He cheated, and then like the dude, somebody was talking shit about his wife, and he was like, "That's it, duel."
Yep.
And this is true. I actually looked it up. Whichever president it was, this happened to, and yeah, so like they did their little duel, and then they turned around and dude fired first and like hit Andrew Jackson, and he was like and he shot. And I think he missed the guy, and you're supposed to reset, but Andrew just shot again and smoked that fool, or Andrew, whoever it was.
Well, that's how like all that combat shit was back in the day, like the fucking like the trope of like the old west, where like the dudes like I'll see you at high noon. Usually it was just like they wait until they got drunk and they shot him going out of a bar. That was usually what happened, or just like they lie in ambush.
Damn.
Yeah.
Imagine telling someone you're going to see him at high noon, but then shooting him at drunk noon. That sounds like cheating.
Dude, that's what I would do. Oh, I'll see you at high noon. It's like, all right. And as soon as he turns around, you just go shoot him in the back of the head. It's fuck it, dude. I'm not going to get shot, especially like those old school pistols.
Mm-mm. Them things are huge, dude. They're not even like real bullets.
Yeah, no, they're like the little balls. And you get, you're going to get fucking hit and have a surgeon who's fucking drinking brandy while he's operating on you?
Yeah, I'm not going to get shot in the face with balls.
Yeah, that'd be bad, dude. I feel like with this setup, I feel like that's where this is going. You're just going to be like, all right, so you're going to be able to make $1,000 to $5,000 a day. Sit in the beanbag. Sit in the beanbag.
What do you mean?
I'm saying you're going to make me film pornography with you. You're going to trick me and say you're not going to release it wide.
Oh, yeah. I'll be like, you want to get paid for this or not?
Want to get paid or not? Come on.
These are not paid spots on this podcast. Everyone on it is doing this for free.
I got pizza out of it, so not for free. I did get pizza out of it. Pretty good pizza too.
You had to bring your own Diet Coke.
I did bring my own Diet Coke. I stopped to get gas, because because I drive a truck, and God, that's a bummer. That's a bummer.
I was gonna get a 2-liter when I picked this pizza up, and in the fridge there was like nothing but some bullshit. I forget what it was, and then it was Diet Coke, and I was like, nah, nobody's gonna drink Diet Coke.
I like Diet Coke.
See, I should have got it.
I'm like horribly addicted to Diet Coke.
You could have had your own 2-liter of Diet Coke tonight.
That would have been a lot of Diet Coke. I don't know if I want that much Diet Coke. I want a little bit.
Yeah.
Because I've been cutting back.
Yeah.
I've been drinking seltzers, like non-alcoholic, like seltzers, bubbly water.
Well, I'm glad you've made the healthy choice to switch to Diet Coke.
Well, the thing is like I've been drinking Diet Coke for so long. I just don't like the taste of Coke anymore.
Really? Do you like Coke Zero?
No, I've never had it.
Never had it.
Nah, I'm pretty like I'm very much so like a great.
Dude, it's all the Coke taste, none of the calories.
I'm definitely on the spectrum a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'll get on a track if I like something. I just do that. Like before my girlfriend moved in, I literally for 3 months every day I ate steak, rice, spinach.
Okay.
That was my dinner every day.
Steak, rice, spinach.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
In like a tortilla wrap.
I mean, that's pretty good.
It's pretty good. But most people get sick of something. But I just get on the track of that. That's just what I'll do.
Yeah.
So.
My cousin's like that. He could eat like chicken tenders like every day, dude. Whatever.
Yeah.
Just chicken. Like no sauce. He just chicken.
The straight up chicken tendies?
Just chicken. Unless it's like garlic parmesan.
Ooh.
Then he'll do that.
I'm a tendy guy. I like me some tendies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know who's got good tendies? Hardee's.
Hardee's does have good tendies.
They've got good chicken tenders and underrated French fries.
They do. Agreed on both. Their breakfast is really good.
Yeah.
I like their breakfast a lot.
One time I said the word breakfasts and I got corrected. The dude was like, hey, did you just say breakfasts? And what makes it worse is that I was in jail. And that was said to me by someone doing a lot more time than me.
That guy's just trying to spit game at you, man.
Dude, he said...
He's trying to level your knowledge up.
He said, Aunt, did you just say breakfasts?
Breakfasts?
That same dude, when we went outside for rec time, blocked the shit out of me in basketball.
I don't feel like you'd be good at basketball.
I mean, I'm not bad, but here's the thing. In jail, 11-foot hoops.
Whoa.
They make it harder to dunk, so you can't. You
break
know what
it.
I mean?
Yeah.
Big ass dudes. You know, they'll dunk and break the rim, and then.
Yeah, I don't think it's out of the realm to say jail is. They're big guys and they're aggressive.
They are big guys and they're aggressive.
Yeah, so that makes sense.
I actually scored 0 points that day.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I would be taking a nap when they'd come through for rec time, nobody got me again.
You only got to play the one time?
I only got to play one time. I was only there for a month.
Oh, dude, you got. Oh,
there was maybe 2
you were
or 3
a wallflower in
opportunities.
prison.
Yeah, dude, I was just a pretty little boy.
You were a pretty flower boy in jail.
That was me.
You're like,
They
hey.
gave me the see-through shower curtain.
They're like, hey guys, I got next, and they're like, okay, Perez, and you just had to play basketball by yourself. They rather sit down and watch you play than play with you.
Yeah, pretty much, dude. It's tough. It's tough when no one tells you it's an 11-foot hoop.
Dude, I just love
to take in the paint and be crafty around some big motherfuckers.
No.
You can't do it. By the time you do the over and under layup, you gotta.
Yeah, like
gotta
really
throw
get
it
up there.
Yeah,
That's hilarious.
and then you still get swatted by Percy.
So was this because of that thing? I don't know if you want to mention it on the podcast. The you making certain substances.
Yeah, dude. As it turns out, if you mix gas and styrofoam, the styrofoam it dissolves in the gas, but then eventually saturates the gas. But if the police find it, they call it a felony.
Yeah, that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah,
They call that napalm.
yeah. They do. They call it napalm. They're like, "Where'd you learn how to make this?" I was like, "YouTube."
YouTube.
Yeah,
God,
and they're
YouTube-
like writing it down like a bunch of fucking idiots.
Dude, fucking YouTube has let people learn so many things, both devious and nice.
Dude, I wasn't trying to be such a bad person.
Yeah.
I was just trying to you know what I mean?
Blow shit up. That's what I used to do. Yeah, makes sense.
Yeah, but they think you're trying to put it because it was in a Gatorade bottle because I can't just have this gel in my car. You know what I mean?
No. That'd be bad.
And then they think that it's something you're supposed to put in there, and maybe they thought it was gonna blow up and it would just and shoot napalm all over the place.
That would be bad.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah. Dude, fucking, it's fascinating what you can learn from YouTube. You know the last thing I looked up to learn how to do on YouTube?
What'd you learn how to do on YouTube?
Wrap Christmas presents.
I learned how to rap on YouTube.
Did you?
Yeah.
I don't feel like you're being good though.
No, there is a group on. There's a page on YouTube, and when I first I sold cars for a little while.
I remember that. I remember when you were selling cars.
How?
I'm pretty sure you were selling them for a little bit when you started doing comedy.
No, dude, I stopped selling cars.
No, because you were working at a dealership. Or maybe you
bro.
just told me the story about you working, because you said you would work at a dealership and just go sit at your desk and play on your phone.
I mean, that sounds like me.
Yeah.
But dude, no, I didn't sell cars. I've been doing comedy for like 2.5 years almost. I'm 28. I haven't sold cars since I was like, maybe 21. I hadn't even bought my first car when I started selling cars. So like that probably tells you how good I was going to be at it.
You sell any cars?
I've sold a couple, but it's just not that fun. What was I getting at?
I don't know.
Then I'll think of another one.
We were talking about learning stuff on YouTube, and then you mentioned selling cars.
Oh yeah, there was this page on YouTube called The Art of Manliness, and I used to go on there every single morning and watch the video of how to tie a tie.
Dude, that sounds like
it took me, dude.
That sounds like some Andrew Tate shit.
You want to know what? Want to know how I finally stopped watching the How to Tie a Tie?
No, how?
I didn't learn how to tie a tie.
Really?
No, I just stopped untying my tie. Just like loosen it up and then put it back on the next day. But
that's smart.
If I couldn't think of that to like pick up on my story, I was gonna tell you I used to when I used to work at the car dealership, I would like once a week, I would wait till like my early out day because car hours are terrible, and on my early out I would be off at like 5 o'clock.
Mm-hmm.
So at like 4:30, I knew I wasn't gonna sell something.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd just take like a tab of acid, and I was doing this like every week before I left.
You did tell me the story.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, so I did know about this. Okay.
Dude, I would take a tab of acid, and then like I stayed like a mile from home, so I would just like once it started to kick in, I'd just get in my car and go home. And one time I was sitting outside. It was like 5 minutes before I left, and I'm sitting there on the bench. It's finally starting to kick in. I'm just like kind of watch the, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Watch the sidewalk start to move a little bit, and I hear up on the the intercom. They're like, Anthony Perez, please come to the sales tower and see Craig. Please come to the sales tower and see Craig. Well, Craig was the manager,
mm-hmm.
and Craig wasn't happy.
He wasn't happy?
Nah, dude. He's like, I forget what he was saying, but the root of it was his eyes were getting like bigger and bigger and bigger, and he was like, I need to see some intensity out of you. You need to get some intensity. And I was like, okay. And he was like, now go out there and sell a car. And then I left. I went out there. I got in my car.
Just went home.
I went home.
Dude,
it's my time to leave, man. Tell me to sell a car when I'm here till 9, dickhead, the other 6 days.
Yeah, man, I really do like just taking a lot of drugs and tripping. I think it's fun.
It is a lot of fun. Drugs are, I mean, they're fun.
They're pretty good. I think I've probably told you a story, but like during the pandemic, I was hanging out at Nick's house a lot.
Right.
I was hanging out there probably like 4 or 5 nights a week, and staying until like 2.
Hell yeah.
1. So one night, they have these weed balls that are cake balls with weed in them, obviously. So
right.
They're made by a comic friend of ours' girlfriend. So it's me, Parker Clay, Nick Dees, and we're sitting there. We're watching a movie. We're watching comedy specials. So we all take one. They start feeling theirs. I don't. So like, I'll have another. And Nick went, go ahead. There's only 2 left, so go and have both of them. So at this point, at that point, I've tripled up. And we're watching Dan Soder's special, Son of a Gary. If you haven't seen it, check it out.
It's really good.
Fantastic.
It's really, really good.
He's one of the best guys working, like by far.
Yeah.
He's coming to the Richmond Funny Bone in June.
I need to see that.
Yeah, I'm gonna get tickets. But so we're watching this special, and there's a moment I was watching it where it was high def, crisp, clean picture, and then all of a sudden the quality dropped and it was in VHS, and I time traveled back to the 90s. I literally had to drive home.
Oh, because you were fucked up.
I was so fucked up, dude. I had to drive home. And the whole time I was driving home, I was like, I want to listen to this song, but I'm in 2000. I was in 97, so obviously I can't look it up and play it from my phone because that's nonsense. That's not real. That's not a real technology ability.
Right.
I had to drive home from Norfolk like that.
You didn't pop a CD in and listen to that?
No, dude. I fucking just listened to the wind blowing in my fucking Honda Civic, dude.
Damn.
Yeah, I was messed up. Yeah.
Damn, son. No one listens to CDs.
No, I got a couple in my car that like I've gotten from like bands for free.
The last time I've seen a CD in a car, I was at this place called Pick and Pull that I'm sure you've heard of, right?
Yeah.
This is just junkyard where you can go and get used car parts.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a totaled car. The car was destroyed. And inside, on the floor, was an NWA CD.
Hell yeah.
And I was like, yeah, they were probably listening to this when they when they crashed. Oh, man.
Straight out the windshield.
Yeah. Straight out of, I don't know, man.
Straight out of the back seat into the front seat, and then into the car in front of you's back seat.
Yeah, straight out of luck.
Yeah, man. No, fucking, yeah, dude. Taking like this, like, so like the first time I ever did shrooms, I picked a buddy of mine up, from his friend's house, and I drive him back to his place, and he breaks out this shroom. This shroom is bigger than my hand, and he cuts it in half, and he gives me my half. He eats his half, I eat my half, and then all of a sudden he gets a phone call, and he looks at me and goes, "Oh shit, I have to go help my buddy move," and I'm just like, "What?"
And you ate what?
Big ass shroom.
Hell yeah.
Big ass shroom. So he's like, "Don't worry, I'm gonna leave you with my roommate," which is this guy named Austin, who I'd met like a handful of times. So
Scary.
I'm just tripping super hard on shrooms at my buddy's house while he's gone and his roommate's there.
Nice.
His roommate started playing Tool, and I told him he had to put something else on or I was gonna fight him.
Tool?
Tool, like the band.
Oh, yeah. I
No.
thought it was Tool, like Brick Breaker, like he was playing an old phone game or something.
No. Just playing. He started playing jazz for some reason.
That's nice, though.
Jazz is really calming. It was really calming. It was nice. He brought me back down to earth.
I realized that jazz is like mostly just people playing like instruments, like they're like band, but it's like good band music.
Yeah.
I like jazz.
I like certain types of jazz for sure. It really depends. I really like old school like funk, like from like Motown and stuff like that. It's not jazz necessarily, but I enjoy that a lot.
Yeah, I came across this like musician. He does I guess I saw him at a concert with this dude Thundercat. Have you ever heard of Thundercat?
Yeah.
Man, his name's Justin Brown, and he plays like the drums and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I say that because like I don't know anything about the music world, so I probably sound like
Same.
an idiot talking about it. But oh my god, I found like an album that he made, and it's so good.
Mm-hmm. Dude, isn't it funny? You can do shit like that with music. You can do that shit with like you'll find like a small YouTuber that's really good.
Right.
You can find that with fucking comics. Like fucking Brandon sent me this. He's this heavyset Mexican dude. I think he's out of L.A. comic guy. Dude, some of the bits he has are so goddamn funny.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, dude. He has this bit about holding his stomach while having sex because he's like heavyset, and I was like, that's so fucking good. And that's just. That's like the weird thing with like art forms. You can find like these like so like before I got into comedy, I was really into like writing and like literature and shit like that. And so I think I really like to do is I would find like the author's early work. So it'd be like a collection of short stories they maybe submit to a magazine, something like that.
Right.
And then you can see those little glimmers of the artist you like coming through in this not so great work. And it's funny because you go back and look at comics, you can see stuff like that with comics too. Where it's like, oh, there's a little gem of the thing I liked.
Right.
They're just not there yet.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it bees that way, man.
Mm-hmm. How into comedy were you before you got into comedy?
I just like, I would watch stuff on like whatever specials went on like Netflix, really.
Mm-hmm. Because you're not like a podcast guy.
No, not really.
Yeah.
I hate podcasts.
Which is weird for a guy who has a podcast.
I don't want anything to do with them.
You're not going to listen to it for sure.
I'm not going to listen to this podcast.
No, you're just going to edit it and put it out. Hope it sounds good. That makes sense.
Yeah. I'm going to edit this whole thing without listening to it.
There you go. That'd be smart.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Just put the headphones on your kid and be like, how's it sound?
Yeah, I'd be like, I want to play pad. And I'd be like, it must be good.
I was like, do you want to finish editing or not?
Yeah.
You got to finish editing, then you can play pad.
Yeah. You're right. So if any of this stuff comes out and it's not very good, it's because an 8-year-old edited it. So
yeah.
Cut him some slack.
Yeah, it's his fault. Yeah.
That's not his fault. He's learning. Cut him some slack. You know.
No, I mean, some 8-year-olds can play beautiful music. So some can fucking read Mandarin.
Yeah, I'll
Be a
get
better-
my 4-year-old to beat up those kids.
Dude, there's gonna be some kid who speaks Mandarin that's gonna fuck your 4-year-old up, dude.
Nah, dude.
Oh yeah, dude, for sure.
I don't think so, man. I would sure hate up to beat up an 8-year-old kid speaking Mandarin.
Yeah, that would probably not look good.
It wouldn't.
Be a bad look.
My little brother plays. My little brother, he plays. I say little brother. He's like 14, so he's kind of getting to be a big kid.
Mm-hmm.
He plays football, and I went to one of his games last year. I went to a few of his games last year, but one of them there was like not like a skirmish, but like you could tell there was something there between like him and the kid on the other team, and it got chippy for a brief moment. And I found myself on like, I found myself on the fence like this,
like ready to go.
I was like, "Yo, don't do it, man."
Oh, dude. So
I'll embarrass me out here on this field.
this is so funny. This is how I knew I could date my girlfriend. This is when we
Right.
first started hanging out. We were hooking up and stuff like that. My nephew, his Little League coach hit him with a baseball. Right, happens because
Yeah.
like in those little, you know how it is in Little League to let the coach pitch
Right.
most of the time. So, coach hit my nephew, and then so my nephew, when he would go up to bat, he would flinch because the guy hit him with a baseball. That's reasonable. So my brother-in-law, very reasonably, very nicely, went up to the guy and went, "Hey, can someone else pitch?" And this guy said about a fucking 7-year-old, he needs to toughen up. I heard that, and I was like, well, I'm going to fuck up this Little League coach.
Yeah.
And I was
Only
like,
7, dude.
yeah, dude, I was like planning to beat him up, and I was talking to my again a girl I was just hanging out with at the time. Now my girlfriend. I was just like, yeah, I'm gonna fuck this dude up, and she's like, all right, look, you're allowed to feel that way, but you can't beat up your nephew's Little League coach. You know that, right? I'm like, yeah, fair enough. Like I get that. But dude, I tried so hard. The last game, literally, like he's behind me and my nephew's in front of me talking to my nephew. I was like, hey man, it's not your fault. It's your coach's fault. I can tell he's out of shape. He doesn't know what he's doing. He's a bat. He clearly doesn't understand. Like, I'm saying it as loud as I can. I was like just talking about how
You're
he
just
sucks.
being super shitty. Yeah.
Oh, I want him to say one thing to me. And it's like one thing to me. I'm gonna beat you up in front of your kids and every kid you coached, your wife, all your
Yeah.
children.
Tell him he needs to toughen up.
Yeah, just beat the fuck out of him. Yeah.
That's more reasonable telling a 37-year-old to toughen up.
Oh, this dude was like fucking late 40s.
47-year-old.
Yeah, just beat the fuck out of him. Like, toughen up, son.
Toughen up.
Fucking hit him. Yeah. But no, I definitely get that instinct, man. That's there for sure.
Yeah, you can't just beat up the folks, you know what I mean?
Be nice if you could, though, right?
Well, I'm saying like the other people. I'm not just gonna watch you beat up the folks.
You'd be surprised
What would I be surprised at?
how often people will let a fight go for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Because if you're there with your kids and all out, sudden out of the blue, there's some dudes beating the fuck out of another guy, you're gonna be like, all right, let's make sure my kids are away from this first. Do we really want to get involved in this?
Yeah, I think I've always been bad at fighting because I've always had glasses.
It's definitely a disadvantage for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. Have I ever told you like the people that beat me up in fights suffer bad fates?
No,
It's really weird.
that's so funny.
It's really weird.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All-
Well, there's the one dude, Selmir, the dude I did the podcast with.
Yeah.
He's doing all right. He beat, but I mean, we were so young that I don't think it counted.
Okay.
But this one dude, he beat the shit out of me in high school. Well, it wasn't in high school, but I was a little rowdy 16-year-old when I first got my license.
Uh-huh.
And I was on the way to work, and like this lady, not to work. I was on my way to school. I was like 10th grade. I'm pretty sure I was in 10th, and maybe 11th. Yeah, I think I was in 11th grade.
Okay.
And I'm on my way to school, and there's like this yield sign, and then this car that's pulling up to the yield sign just like hits the brakes hard, like for no reason. Like you have to yield to traffic, but there is none coming.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like I had to slam on my brakes. Like I blew the horn at her, and being like a 16, 17-year-old, I pulled up next to her. I was like, "Yo, learn how to fucking drive."
Yeah, you're shithead. Yeah.
So she was actually she was taking her daughter to the school that I was going to. So they went there.
That's funny.
And
That must have been a nerve-wracking ride. It's like, is she following me?
yeah, and dude
Why is she taking all the turns I'm taking?
dude comes up to me. He's like he's like, did you say something to Carol? I know the full name, but he's like, did you say something to Carolyn such and such? And I was like, who is that?
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, oh, you cussed at Carolyn such and such. I'm like, dude, I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And he was like, so-and-so's mom or whatever. Like, that's my friend's mom. And I was like, oh, yeah, her? She needs to learn how to fucking drive. And then I won't cuss at her if she learns how to fucking drive.
Mm.
Don't slam on the brakes in front of me. I won't tell you not to fucking do that.
Mm.
So he was like, he said whatever. And I was like, yo, dude, we're at school right now. I'm not going to fight you, but we're not just going to do this. Like, he was like a year older than me. He was an athlete, like way outmatched. Not even close, dude. But I was like, look, you're not just going to hoe me in front of all these kids here. Like, you're either going to hit me here or we're just going to, like, go somewhere afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
So he was like, all right, meet me at this park. So I go to this park, and I had a couple friends with me just to, like, it was really just to make sure I didn't get, like, jumped.
Yeah.
Like, it was it ended up being a 101, but I'm like, let me make sure I don't get jumped. And I get out of the car, and, like, I'm talking to him, and I look over at my friend, and when I look at my friend, he just, like, punches the shit out of me and knocks my glasses off. Like, I can't fight because I got glasses.
Mm-hmm.
And when they're gone, I'm done.
Mm-hmm.
And, yeah, he just proceeds to beat the hell out of me. I had a black eye. This was, like, 2 days before Christmas break, so I didn't go either of those. I had a black eye.
Dude, I was.
But
All right. What was his fate?
fast forward.
I forgot about that part.
Yeah, dude. Fast forward a couple years, and this dude, I guess.
Have you heard of 9/11? It's like he was in the tower.
Yeah, dude.
But
he was in Building 7 like a real bitch. No,
it's not even not even part of the real attack. Yeah.
That'd be a bummer being there and be like, we're safe.
Also, I love the concept of like bragging that a fucking guy who beat you up in high school died 9/11.
No,
That'd be so funny.
No, dude. He apparently like sideswiped, or someone sideswiped him on the interstate. So I guess this dude, still being the same hothead he was when we were in high school, gets out of his car all aggressively to walk up to the car that they pulled over. And when he gets out of his car aggressively, a fucking 18-wheeler turned him into blood mist.
Dude, I know another guy that happened to.
Yo, everybody, I was like friends with this dude on Facebook. I think I was. If I was, I still am. I still am, because I see once in a while his dad will post on his timeline and be like, I miss you, son.
Oh, damn.
That's
Oh, man, dude.
This is episode 3. Gotta be the most fucked up thing I've said.
That's pretty messed up. That's hilarious, though.
Yeah, dude.
Dude.
You want to know what's even more messed up?
You like that? You like that post every time he posts it?
Sometimes his sister makes the same post. Yeah, dude. But you know what I mean? Like, it was bad because, like, it was only a couple years after he did that to me. So, like, we went to school together. So there's all these people like, yo, I'm sorry. Sorry this happened to you. You were such a nice guy.
And you're like, he wasn't that nice.
And in my mind, I'm like, yo, if you fucking look both ways before you cross the street, dickhead.
There's something so funny.
Turn your ass into deer jerky, bitch.
There's something so funny about being a dickhead about when something terrible happens. I don't know why it is, but like a great example of like a video that was making me laugh for fucking a while was like a guy got out of a car and like squared up with the guy. Was like, "What the fuck are you gonna do?" And the guy just hit him with a 2-piece and laid him the fuck out. The guy went, "What are you gonna do?" And the guy went, "Pop, pop," and laid him out.
Yeah.
I laughed at that video for an hour and a half straight to the point where I had to show it to my girlfriend. I think I even posted it on Instagram for like just my close friends because I was like, I like stuff that's very dark. Like I said, I was watching fucking the Ronald Reagan shooting video, but like I watch stuff like that tickles me in a weird way. This guy being like, "What the fuck are you gonna do, bitch?" And the guy just goes, "Pop, pop," and just lays him out.
Yo, there's another guy that beat me up one time, left a little knot on the back of my head. Suffered a bad fate.
Yeah.
Oh, there's a third one. I didn't even think of this.
God, all right, so what happened to the second guy?
The second guy. Well, the second guy, he actually he punched the shit out of me a few times, and like, it really hurt. It really, really hurt. And at some point he ended up like totally just like changing his life, started going to church and everything like that. Like, this is shortly after this whole thing with me and him.
That's good.
And like the moment he started like religiously going to church every week, like his past came up and he went to prison for armed robbery, like from something that happened before.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, whew, that ain't good.
No.
Third guy, we didn't fight, but I almost had to. I worked at a vape shop, dude, and man, there was this one guy. I realized that he would like say little things to like my coworkers. Like he was just trying to like pit the store against me. Now, mind you, I'm working part-time at a vape shop.
Yeah.
I don't care. And then like he had like told this one dude, I said like some stuff about like really, this was like 3 years ago, like on some like, why are you being a whole grown hoe?
Yeah.
And I tried to fight him actually. And I forget what it was, and like, dude, like I was so mad. Like I punched the sign in the front of the vape shop, like the welcome sign. It fucking shattered, dude. Like pieces of the sign everywhere. And I was like, you know what? I forget what happened. And he said something. I said, I was like, that's why all your baby mamas are bitches, because he had three kids with 3 women.
That's hilarious.
And I got him real fired up. And like a year later, I'm really good friends with the manager at that time. We've been good friends before, during, after. And he called me one day. He was like, yo, man, you hear about what happened to TJ? I was like, nah, what happened? Apparently some dude like ran in this guy's house in the middle of the night and just hit him with a fa fa fa.
Whoa.
And I don't even think they ever caught the guy. He's no more. So since they never caught the guy, I just tell my manager I ordered the hit.
God, where's this? I can't wait for years later for this to come out that you killed all these people.
I'll probably edit this part out.
You fucking drove the 18-wheeler.
Yeah, dude.
You drove
I got my CDL fresh out of high school just to wreck that kid.
Then who knows what happened to that second guy? I was like, what happened to the second guy? You went armed robbery or something. Just like we were vague about his past. I was like, what happened?
I don't know what happened with all that. Like,
Okay.
I have no idea, like, who I just know, like, it's something he did in his past and it came back to get him.
That's so funny.
But that one, he actually wasn't, like, a terrible dude. That guy, like, I've seen, like, we're still friends on Facebook, like, years later.
You feel really bad about what happened to him.
No. But, like, once in a while, I'll see him post stuff. I'm like, man, that's good. Like, he's doing his stuff.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's funny. I don't know how much of it. I don't know if we recorded any of it, but like I have a couple like people on Facebook I follow that are just like weirdos.
Yeah.
That for some reason like they did comedy for 3 months or they added me randomly.
Right.
Like I was telling you about, like there's this guy who I won't say his name, but he literally every day changes his profile picture, and it's just always like just went to 7-Eleven to get my coffee. Just every day. And like I showed you the last post he had, which was this is what I mostly ate for dinner. And it was like a picture of like beans, some greens, and it looked like a burger.
You know how when Facebook is like, on this day 7 years ago, and you're like, oh, God damn me.
Well, I didn't have a Facebook account until I started comedy.
Dude, when I look back.
I think I had one when I was a teenager, but.
You know how people are like, if I had a time machine, like I'd go back and kill Hitler?
Mm-hmm.
If I had a time machine, I'd go back and kill myself right before I made a Facebook post in like 11th grade.
Yeah, some bangers in there.
Bro, the amount of times I put LOL in the middle of a status.
Hell yeah.
I hate that kid.
Hell yeah.
He's so fucking lame, dude. I wish people would have beat him up and had nothing bad happen to them.
Maybe that was the problem, If maybe one of those people had stuck around, after the ass whooping instead of having something terrible happen to him.
Yeah,
dude, it's funny. I got really really high last night, like really high, and I was really thinking about it.
Yeah,
and it's just weird. Of like, fucking 30 years ago, you'd have these people that you maybe knew peripherally, like
right.
you would see them at stores or whatever. Now we have these people like on Facebook, and they're leaving like their innermost thoughts. Like I'm sure it's like the couples that will be like you know them as a couple in real life.
Yeah,
but they're constantly fighting on Facebook.
Ugh.
And you have this weird thing when you see them together, all you can think about is just like her posting about how fucking all men are pieces of shit, and like another the guy posting like, well, you could just do a couple dishes. I don't think that was a big like you just see those people in real life, and it's like, what are you doing? Like what is like that's what I find so fascinating about that coffee guy. That dude is older than I am.
Yeah,
doesn't have a job, and every day either posts him going to 7-Eleven to get coffee. or his created wrestler on a WWE game.
Really?
He posts pictures of his created wrestler.
It's the updated game, isn't it? He plays like 2K23.
Yeah, dude. He's a grown man. Like if my oldest nephew is fucking 10. If he posted a picture of his created wrestler on Facebook, I'd be like, cool, I get it. You're a little dude. Nice.
Yeah.
Fucking. Can you imagine being a 32-year-old man and you're just like, look at this sick wrestler I made?
Dude, that's crazy.
Yeah, man. People's lives are strange, man. We're just getting glimpses. These people have always existed. There's always been people who it's like they were just. So like a great example is just like an artist will die sometimes, like in their later years they went crazy and they'll find like paint. Like Goya is a great example of this,
Right?
Where like Goya just started painting on his walls in his house.
Goya?
Yeah, he's a painter. Look up his shit. His stuff is like really good with like a disturbing undertone to it.
I thought that's the dude that made the beans.
Similar name, similar name. Yeah, it's the same name, but just not that I don't think they're related at all. But no, dude, it's like that's what I like about Facebook is you get these oddities, these people who 30 years ago that guy would have had a quiet life where he was a fucking checkout guy at a gas station and went home to his apartment. No one would know about his outside inner thoughts until Facebook, and now it's just like, hey, look at this sick wrestler I make.
That's good.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think it's gonna be better because I think we're getting better about regulating stuff. Because I think we were way too honest.
We do need to regulate people like that. Like if you're 40 years old and post every day about your My Player and getting coffee, I think Facebook should like suspend your account for 7 days. Like really think about it next time you post this.
Just like put some thought into it. But no, what I mean by that is you see younger people. I almost never see younger people post clear pictures of themselves. They don't post their location, their all that kind of stuff. I'm like, if someone used to have some criminal tendencies, the amount of people I've seen was like going on vacation in 4 days. I was like, all right, well, I know where you live. I know you're leaving in 4 days.
Right.
Wait to see if you post anything about after you left. And I was like, all right, go rob your house. Like shit like that. That's like shit I think about. But like regular people just put that thought out there. You know what I'm saying? Is it?
Whoa, that's scary.
Right. I'm just saying. I just think that's interesting. I think that part of Facebook is interesting. Is that there's this younger generation that then grew up with it. We're like me and you when we were kids. There was no Facebook. You know what I mean?
I think I made a Facebook when I was in like 7th grade.
Because how old? Because you're 28.
28.
So yeah, I'm 30. So I'm 2 to 3 years older than you.
Okay.
And like growing up, man, like there was the internet, but it was just like maybe your mom went and checked emails or the news.
Right.
Now, can you imagine like growing up and your mom is some like just posting crazy conspiracy theories all the time?
I used to check my mom's emails because she had this one friend that would always send her funnies, and once in a while, those funnies that my mom used to get when I was, hell if I know, like 10 years old. Once in a while, I'll hear an open micer repeat it like verbatim.
Really?
Dude, it's really funny.
For real?
Yeah.
People will steal like a Garfield joke. Or a fucking, what's the other guy?
I think they just
Dilbert.
like remember the joke from so long ago that they're like, man, I haven't heard this in a while. Maybe I should be the savior that brings it back.
So there's this weird combination of like, there will be people that's like, well, that's a rip-off joke.
Well, there's that one. It's the joke goes like there's a kid sitting on a bench eating like hella chocolate bars or something like that, and a lady or a guy comes up to him or something and is like, hey, little kid, like it's not healthy to eat all that chocolate. And he's like, my grandma lived to be 110 years old. He's like, did she eat chocolates every day? And he was like, no, but she minded her business. Bro, I heard that joke in an email when I was like 10 years old, and I've heard that joke more times since I started doing comedy.
Really? So I think there's this weird mixture. I think there's this thing where sometimes jokes will like
or a variation of it. You know, it's like copy and paste, change a couple words, you know.
Yeah, there's that. There's straight up that. There's guys who straight up got booked and they were doing like straight up riffs, like just taking whole cloth from specials. I've seen that.
That's wild.
So there's dude, I'm not gonna say his name, but this is true. He had a bit, the difference between black people and N-words. Literally one of the most famous bits from one of the most famous comics of all time. And I remember talking to him, I was like, you know that's not your... He's like, I wrote this.
No, you didn't.
I was like, no.
This is an open micer.
Yeah.
They still do comedy?
No.
What's his name? No, you don't have to do that.
I don't. It's Mars. That was his comedy name. I don't think that was his real name.
Mars?
Yeah.
I'm sure that was his name.
Yeah. But I don't know. I have no clue. But there's shit like that, and you get that, and it's just like this strange, like, who are you fooling? It's not like you're stealing a joke from some open micer in San Diego.
Right.
You're stealing from Chris fucking Rock, like one of the biggest guys of all time.
Yeah.
But you'll see that, and there's like also like the people who do the meme jokes. Those I've seen those float around.
That shit makes me so mad.
I don't pay attention. If you're not a comic I like or respect, I do not pay attention to your set.
That's really funny. I can't help it. Like, I don't know how to lie. A lot of times people come up to me after a mic and they're like, and it's bad because like even people that I'm like friends with, I'll just like, I won't remember the content. I'll just remember how the crowd reacted.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, but like for people that like, I don't know, especially it's always funny when there's someone that like they'll be like, oh, it's like my first time or whatever. I'm like, all right, cool, whatever, good luck. And then they come off stage and they're like, how'd I do? And I'm like,
not great.
I don't know. Like, what do you mean you don't know? You weren't listening? I'm like, dude, it's your first time. You'll get better.
Yeah, dude, man, like so, like whatever. I did it Thursday at Kazi's. Kazi's, we had like 30-something comics Thursday.
Well, it was a lot.
And I got there late, so I came from work. I signed up and I left and showered, came back, and I just walked up. And the first thing I said to a bunch of the dudes I know was this: I hate doing mics with new guys, because I've been doing comedy long enough at this point where I know what the thing is. There are a lot of nice new guys, and they're like, some of them are not good, but they'll be good and they're nice enough guys, and they'll eventually get there. The thing I don't want to deal with. I'm done. I'm fucking done with the dude who's new to Kazi's and they go, you can't say the N word and you can't say the C word, and they'll be like,
my God.
what's that? And it's just like.
It's the people that are so funny. They just want everyone to know in the comic meeting. Dude, we can make a whole episode about how much that annoys me.
That I would love to do an episode about.
And
that.
Especially, dude, when it's like 30 people, and there's guaranteed to be like 5 people that are like, oh, like, like, listen to this. Like, I know you guys are trying to get to the comic meeting so we can actually get our stage time.
I would love to do that as a podcast, which is just like open mic etiquette. Like, the only thing you have to do legitly is don't run the light, don't steal bits, and don't talk during other people's sets. You know what I mean? Just be kind and respectful. I remember
Right.
I literally had to tell that to a new guy once, and I forget who I said it to, so I don't know if he's still around or not. But I was just like, he was the kind of guy that like, because like me and you've been
Right.
friends for a while,
Right.
so sometimes I'll walk up to him, we'll be talking, and like we'll be talking about your kids or whatever. It's like not necessarily a conversation we want other people that we don't know involved in, and all of a sudden you'll just have this one guy who's new to the open mic scene who wants desperately to get to know the other comics, and it'll be like us having a serious conversation. He's like, what do you guys think about this bit? It's like, don't bit me. Please don't bit me right now. I don't I don't want to be bit.
Or when they don't say, what do you think about this bit, but then clearly bit you.
Clearly do bits.
I call them out. I'm done.
Oh, no, I've told people don't bit me.
Yeah.
I've told so many. Dude, the thing is it's like, so a comic got beat up by a transgender person outside of Kazi's.
God damn it, that was funny because he called her the F word.
Yeah, he called her a bad word.
Dude.
And then she beat the brakes off of him.
It's so funny to me that happened, that like, I don't know, you just like, you talked all this shit and then, you know?
Yeah, well, he thought he could just be an asshole, and he was showing those consequences. But so the next week, I wasn't there the week it happened.
Yeah, I know what happened the next week.
So that dude was outside. And this dude is like, he's trying. He's mad because they haven't called the cops. The transsexual person's in the bar, and he's mad that they're still in there, and they haven't. And the place didn't call the police on her, and he's trying to talk to me about it. I was like, hey man, don't involve me. He kept trying to talk to me about it. I was like, hey man, don't involve me. And he's like, man, us comics got to be allowed to say what we're gonna say. And I was just like, first off,
you didn't. It wasn't about what you said on stage.
Well, no. So I was an asshole to him. I was like, first off, you're not a comic. Stop saying you're a comic. You've done this 3 times.
There you go. There you go.
I was already I was already in a bad mood. I threatened to fight him. I did not like. That was one of the guys. That's what I mean. That's one of those guys that like they immediately start, and it's just like they're just trying so desperately to be funny, and it's just like, I'm sure you're funny. But you just got to hang back a little bit.
That's the best part of like, man, people got to stand up for, you know, comics saying what they want. Like, no, dude, you said what you wanted on the stage and people didn't think it was funny, and then you got off stage. Like,
yeah, and they reacted. Instead of you when you got off stage, handling it with like some decorum, like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean that. You got shitty about it, and they got shitty back.
Yeah.
So I don't know, man. I find that open mic shit can be so fucking frustrating. Just like there are dudes like we're not gonna say who, we're not gonna say names, but we'll just say there's an open mic where a guy was saying that there was a show that they were gonna do that was gonna have Netflix come and film it.
I remember that.
And this is like right after Netflix said no to Mark Norman.
Right.
Mark Norman's fucking huge. This guy who's going, Netflix is going to come film me. Not huge. Not a gigantic name. Not some comedy powerhouse. And there are people who have been doing comedy longer than I have who will like legitly like, oh my God, can you believe Netflix is coming here? And it's just like, you believe that?
But I bet you not a single one of those persons has done comedy double-digit times outside of their area code.
No. Well, actually, this guy might have.
Really?
Yeah, the dude I'm thinking of started somewhere else and it did comedy there and came here.
You can't be so like narrow-minded. You gotta like. I feel like critical thinking is very important.
Yeah, just like put a little bit of this, and like the thing, like I was trying to explain it to him, I was like, dude, like they turned down Mark Norman for a special.
Yeah.
And Mark Norman has like 1 million followers on Instagram.
I run a really good bar show, and I think I'm gonna get Netflix to. You know what I mean?
You might.
It's gonna be called Wet Bar Comedy.
There you go. We're gonna be dirty, dude.
Yeah.
But no, like to me, that's so fascinating that that's like there's like this accepted level of bullshitting, and then like we'll just be like, yep, and then like that dude just gets to walk around the comedy scene like that didn't happen, like he wasn't telling people Netflix was gonna come here.
Does that dude really walk around the comedy scene though?
No, he shows up every once in a while.
Yeah.
I saw him 2 weeks ago at a mic.
Really?
Yeah. But no, I think that shit's fascinating. I know another guy who told me he was going to do a show at Caroline's, obviously before it closed. This is years ago. And then like the next time I saw him, I was like, "Hey man, how was the show at Caroline's?" He's like, "What are you talking about?" It's like, Caroline's.
Yeah.
I got a fucking great one. Or like dudes who film themselves. This is a true story. We're not gonna say names.
Hey, don't get on me about filming myself.
No, hold on, but you're gonna like this one because there's a difference between a tripod and having a camera crew. Have I told you this story?
I think so. This is about someone that I know in our scene.
Oh
right?
yeah, this is someone you know. This is someone who is somewhat well respected in our scene.
Yeah, dude.
So there's a show at a hookah bar. There's next to no one there. A guy shows up with a camera crew. He shows up with a guy with a boom mic and a guy with a camera.
Yeah.
And there's no one there. And then I'm outside the hookah bar at the bar trying to order a drink. And like there's a little hallway that separates the smoking room and where the bar is.
This was before my time.
I think you had just started.
Okay.
I think because this is probably 2 years ago, 3 years ago, something like that.
All right.
And this dude his camera's filming him, and he's about to get called up the stage, and he's like rubbing his hands together, trying to do that big entrance and like fucking like this. And he walks out, and then he did 30 minutes where he didn't get a single laugh, and then got off and went, "I'm chasing my dreams. You guys get to see the first couple steps, but I won't be seeing you at the finish line." And he got off stage.
Absolutely disgusting.
And fucking walked out, and there is nothing quite like knowing that guy paid those dudes to film him bomb.
He said, "I won't see you at the finish line." Yeah, you won't. I'm not even gonna be looking for you.
Oh man.
Sorry.
But no, stuff like that, man. That makes that shit like that. Like that dude is friends with friends of mine. So
Yeah.
So that's why I don't bust his balls. But every time I see him, that's all I think about. I just want to bring that up. I want to bring up that moment, that headspace of like, because he was posing. He was literally posing.
He was being a poser.
He was rubbing his hands together. I'm like, I gotta get my shit together, dude. You better go out here and do my art. And it's just like
there's a lot of posers, and I think that's what you get out of like a lower market scene type thing, you know?
Yeah. Well, there are guys like this in New York. There's guys like this in Baltimore and shit.
Well, yeah, but nobody gives a fuck about them, do they? Do they really?
Well, I don't think so. They might. See, that's the thing I was thinking about. People think like this dynamic is just in our scene, which by the way, this is like super fucking inside baseball for Hampton Roads comedy. But like, people complain about this, and it's like, well, we got to go to a bigger scene. But it's like those dudes exist. Fucking Carlos Mencia was one of the biggest guys in LA, and he was a fucking a joke stealer.
Yeah.
And he was one of the biggest guys there. I think this fucking weird shit where it's just like, yeah, I've known this guy a long time, so I give him a little bit of leeway. That happens everywhere, man. That happens fucking everywhere.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
That's just fucking people.
Yeah.
So like, yeah, that happens in New York. There are people in New York that are not very good, but they get work because they're friends with this guy, or they know a guy who helps sell alcohol to this bar cheaper, so now he gets on the show. Whatever it is, whatever the fucking
connections.
Whatever the slip through is for that guy.
They're like everything.
I know a fucking kid who can't really do 10, but he gets shit at the fucking Comedy Store. And
really?
Yeah. And it's just this happens. This is who he knows.
Wow.
That happens, man. I mean, fuck, how many times have you heard about like his common trope of like the comedian's girlfriend not being that funny, but her getting on shows?
Oh yeah, for sure.
Shit like that happens everywhere.
I've heard of it.
Shit like that happens everywhere. I haven't seen that here. I'll say that.
Right.
I don't think our scene does it. But like,
none of these comedians have girlfriends.
Yeah, but I mean, but you know what I mean? It'd be like if all of a sudden Lucy was just like, "Hey, put my girlfriend on your show." You'd be like, "Oh, does she do comedy?" Like, you know what I mean? You'd be like, "What?"
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I like I said, I think I've heard a lot of people complain about that, but I think that's in every scene. I really do.
Yeah. I feel like you kind of get to a point where it's like you just stop really paying attention to stuff like that.
Yeah, you gotta not get emotionally involved.
Like, I don't know. I couldn't tell you who was booked on what last weekend, but I can tell you like what my friends were booked on.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. You follow the decent people. You know
Right.
the decent people.
But I don't keep track of like, even like, I don't know, like sometimes when people get like those spots that like, it's funny. It probably happens like more than I even realize. Like people getting those spots where it's like, bro, like they don't deserve that. But like I don't really care.
Yeah, that's
you know?
that's how you have to be. That's
Right.
really how you have to be. And I had that realization. Me and Nick went and saw Dan Soder just before the pandemic, like
Yeah.
live at the DCM Prob.
Nice.
And I'm not talking shit on the guy because the guy might have had an off night, but like the goober who was hosting, a goober is just a good way to describe him. He's just not funny. Kind of seemed all over the place. And this is at the DC Improv,
Yeah.
the DC fucking Improv, man.
Right.
Fucking sometimes a couple bad guys will slip through, or gals, whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like you said, I do legitimately think the best thing is just to be like, okay,
Yeah.
trying to remove yourself from that fucking drama.
I'd rather just like, I don't know. It's too much. Like there's a lot of like haters. That's why I say like I just know like what my friends were on last weekend. You know.
Yeah.
Like.
And the thing is, you don't need to worry about it because if you're on a show with those guys, the fact is you're putting time in and you're really trying to work.
Yeah.
Shows.
Yeah.
Because I've done that. I've been on shows with those people, and they can't. I mean, when you put in the work, a person who's not, they can't follow you.
That's true. Like if
Yeah.
you know what you're doing and you're really like confident, that's one of the big things.
Think about Vino. Think about how fucking tight Vino's shit is right now.
Dude,
If you're a guy half-assing shit, do you think you're gonna follow Vino?
he's gonna
No.
bury you.
He's gonna fucking bury you.
He-
That dude's been doing whole many
Dude.
fucking shows for years now.
Let me tell you something funny. I'm sure I can
speed
say
back.
this on here. We did the show. And,
Shout out Big Vino.
Dude, he headlined my last show at Poor Girls,
Mhm.
and he gets there, and bro, like his eyes are like half like closed. He goes and there's like this kind of like it's a bar show, but
Mhm.
like there's still kind of like this makeshift green room that I've got for the comics, and so he goes in there, he sits down, his eyes are like not even closed, and like he says with them just like barely cracked open, he's like, "Yo, Aunt," and I'm like, "Yeah," he said, "Give me some fries." I was like, dude, are you good, bro? Like, you need, you good? You need to swap. I was kidding, but I was like, you need to swap with the feature. Like, you need Gilbert to headline and you feature for him. Like, what's up, man? He was like, nah, man, I'm going to be good. I ate one of them nerds rope edibles and it's 600 milligrams. I'm like, yo.
Damn.
I'm like, why did you do that?
That
And
dude
then-
went to space.
Why did you do that and then come to my show, dude? But then, bro, he went up there and it's funny. My dad was there and he said to me afterward, he was like, man, that guy Vino at the end, he was fucked up, but he was funny.
Oh, dude. Dude, dude, you know what I think is funny? You ever heard the thing that people talk about comedy babies?
Yeah, I think so.
Where so like Bert Kreischer talks about it a lot, where he talks about how he's a Tell baby. You know, David Tell, like everyone wanted to be like David Tell.
Yeah.
there are dudes around here that are straight up Vino babies.
Really?
So Vino used to have this mic in like a weed speakeasy in Hampton.
Dude, so much
so
fun.
you know exactly.
So much fun.
So that was a fun room, right? One of my favorite things I ever noticed there, and I pointed it out to Vino, and Vino lost his shit when I did it because he thought it was so funny. But you know how Vino sits on the stool?
Right.
Vino's a big dude. He sits on the stool. Fucking every other guy after him sat on the fucking stool trying to, because you know how fucking laid back and easy Vino is on stage.
Because they're like, this is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, everyone's like, well, that guy was funny. I want to be like that guy. And this dude's who's not doing this shit. There's like one of my favorite ones, guy to watch was this guy who he has started and stopped comedy 3 times since I've started comedy.
Oh my god!
And he's gone like he went by like
just hang it up.
Yeah, dude. He went by Byron the comedian. He went by
man, I know who this guy is.
What was his fucking Dolomite? He went by for a little bit. What, you friends with him? You want to cut this part out?
I mean, I don't want to be like, yeah, fuck him, and you're like, yeah, like this one guy that we both know.
Well, I just thought it was funny because it was just like I saw him do it. That's what I'm saying. I've seen him stop and start comedy 3 times, and it's like,
are you in it or are you not though? Like, not even. I mean,
comedy wise for people. So the thing is, I think for some people, it's just fun. It's like a fun hobby they do. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think it's one of those things where it's like, what can I compare it to? Like, you have to do it consistently to get good. You know how when you're working like one of those entry-level jobs, and then every summer the college kids come and get their job back, and they're just like, it's like, yo, get the fuck out of my way. Yeah.
No, it's like so that goes back to like you can't let that shit bother you. It's that thing because there's gonna be some guys. It's like we're guys trying to make it playing pool.
Yeah.
And they're dudes who come and shoot pool every once in a while. That's what it is.
Yeah.
There's no point in hating on those people. It's like, you know, we know a couple like we know dudes who just go to Kazi's. They're not trying to be comics. They want to get up and tell jokes.
When he changed his name to Buddy Love.
That's what the other one was.
When he changed his name to Buddy Love.
I always liked him. I think he's a nice guy.
He's always been really nice to me. And one time when I was having my mic at 1865, he came through. And the room was super cold. Like, people were really eating it. And then he went up.
I love that room. Bro, I had so much fun at that room.
He went up there and killed, and that's like the only time I've ever seen him perform.
So the reason I pointed him out is I thought he was funny because like he started and stopped comedy so many times.
Yeah.
But it was funny of like a guy I've seen his behavior on stage, but he sees 3 guys before him sit on the stool, so he's like, well, I'm gonna sit on the stool. That's what they're doing. Yeah.
3 people before you sit on the stool. You don't want to sit on the stool.
Well, he doesn't know that. He doesn't do comedy consistently enough.
Yeah.
You know, he's that dude who like, you know, he goes to the gym every once in a while to kind of work the bag, and
right.
You know, he'll talk shop with the other like the dudes who are actually trying to be boxers and be like, hey, dude, I'm trying to do this. That's another thing. Like that took me a long time to not let that shit bother me because it'd be like these. So like I really had it recently at Kazi's because with the so Kazi's is now doing like where they're drawing the name. It's like random out of a bucket.
Right.
There was a couple guys who done it maybe a handful of times that were complaining about comics being outside during their sets. Dude, when I started comedy, I was second or last for probably 7 months.
Yeah.
Every Thursday. And this is back when Kazi's would go late. So I'm talking about I'd be up there at like 11:30, 11:40. Anyone who's still there is smashed and not paying attention.
Yeah.
And I would have to go up there and sweat and work for fucking jokes.
I think that's good though.
That is good. You need that.
You do.
You need that trial by. That's why I figured I was talking to about it. But it's like I think fucking Pen Boys is great for new comics. I really do. Because it's like you go up there, this is gonna be a tough fucking room, and you're gonna fight for your fucking laughs.
Right.
But if you get a laugh, you know you have something.
Right. And that's very true. I also think it's good when you start doing comedy because, like, when I first started doing comedy, it was October of 2020. So, like, I couldn't go to a club anywhere and do comedy. So, like, I mean, you know, I wasn't funny for a long time. So, like, it was really good that I had places like that. Like, the highest stakes place I could go to and bomb was like Bucketheads.
Yeah. And even that was not high stakes.
It was a bar show.
Yeah.
I mean, not bar show. It was a bar mic.
You know, dude, it's funny. I was talking to, I think it was Zach Ames about this recently. But it's like, it's funny watching dudes transform. And like I literally told him, I gave you as a great example. And I was like, look at Ant. Dude, when Ant first started comedy, he'll tell you. I told him he was not funny. And now, you just straight up, you have some fucking killer shit.
Yo, one time after Bucketheads, I was probably, I don't know, dude. I was probably like 4 or 5 months in. and I went up at Bucketheads. This was when we first started like being friends. And I went up at Bucketheads, and I just did. It was just bad. Like, you know how like when you're a new comic and all you do is say premises and then like no one laughs at them, so you just move to the next thing.
Mm-hmm. You don't even have like a punch worked up for it yet.
Yeah. Excuse me. And yeah, I came off the stage at Bucketheads, and you were the first person there, and you were like, "Man, what was that?" Dude, I was so bad, but at the same time, like when I look back on it,
wasn't that kind of nice though? Was like a guy being like, "Dude,"
it's nice when that happens. Like you need people to do that, because if you're doing bad and everyone's like, "You're doing so good," like when I first started and I'd be going to Pinboys and stuff like that, dude. Tyrell told me like 3 times stop doing comedy, and I laughed the first time, but the second and third I was like, dude, I must be bad.
Dude, I tell you, I think that shit helps.
It does.
That shit fucking helps, man. Like, because it means more.
I think one of the ways it's helped me a lot is that when people are like, I mean, if I didn't want to do comedy, I probably would have stopped. But like when you have like people that are like, stop doing comedy, or like, yo, like you're not funny or whatever, like you just work on getting better. So when you hear that for like 6 months and then you start like actually getting laughs, like not even because even after like 6 months, it's not like I've been doing well for the last year and some change.
Yeah.
Like I'm finally getting to the point, maybe in the last 6 months, I have had like less than stellar sets, but I've only like truly bombed my ass off handful of times. You know what I mean? Like,
and that's comedy, and that's the thing of like Saturday was a good example.
Right.
I did well, but I wasn't happy with my set.
Right.
I did well.
Right.
And like if you were a new comic, you probably would have saw them like, oh, he killed. And I was like, no, man, like my timing was weird. I stepped on a few of my laugh lines, like some of my punches didn't land.
Yeah.
It's all about like you get to a different level. You just get to a different level of like what you expect.
Yeah.
And what you want.
And I used to just hit these points where I would like, it would be like a week or like 2 weeks or like whatever the time frame was. I would just bomb that long just consecutively. And dude, it was brutal. Like coming out, like I'm going to leave my house and drive 40 minutes to go tell jokes and no one's going to listen.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
And then get there and be like, yeah, that's what happened. But I had to work on this stuff.
The thing is, I legitimately think if that there reaches a point, right? There's all these exit points for comedy.
Right.
There's the having the nerve to get on stage.
Right.
And some people get on stage, it goes so bad the first time they never do it again. And then there's the other stage where it's like maybe, you start doing well, so maybe you decide you're going to branch out to a couple other mics.
Right. And
then it's that bombing. And so that's the second phase. The second phase is the dudes who could never quite get consistent of being funny. Because I'm sure you know a couple comics like this where it's like every once in a while they'll have a great bit. But most of the time it's like, okay.
Yeah.
All right. But every once in a while they'll hit gold. That's the second filter, because eventually that guy gets frustrated because he'll see guys growing around him and he doesn't know why.
Right.
And he'll fall off. That one you just mentioned, that's the third one and the only one I think everyone, if you keep doing comedy, you hit.
Yeah.
Which is the first time you're in a rut and you're bombing a lot and you get home from work and you have to drive an hour. You have to drive 30 minutes.
Yeah.
You have to leave your kids. You have to make an excuse for your girlfriend or your boyfriend to go to a mic. And part of you knows I'm probably gonna bomb again.
Yeah,
that's the next one. And there are so many people who hit that. There was a young woman who did comedy.
Is that really where a lot of people quit?
I think so. I really do, because I've been thinking about it. I have a lot of I spend a lot of time thinking at work.
Right.
Because my job is like hands on, so it's usually just me working something until it fits or I can get it in. So it's not like a lot of processing power since I know how to do it half the time.
Right.
So I'll spend time thinking about stuff like that. I'll think about why this set worked. I'll think about why that guy stopped doing comedy. Like, because the dudes I started with, because like I think everyone starts comedy and they have like 2 or 3 guys they identify with of like we're running mates.
Right.
So I started with these 2 guys, and both of them were better than me. One was this handsome dude, and he was confident.
Okay.
And since he was confident, he could translate that on stage.
Right. Being
confident, you're somewhat likable, so people are quicker to go along with you. The second guy was just more comfortable on stage than I was, but he never quite got joke writing down. The first time that handsome guy ran into a little bit of like turbulence comedy-wise, he dipped. He dipped for like 3 months, then he came back, and all these dudes he thought of were at his level were so much better than him because we had been doing comedy every fucking night.
Right.
So then he didn't come back because all of a sudden he's like, well, I'm not in the running anymore.
Yeah.
But I think that is the level, because there was this girl who was funny. She was really funny, and she was nice. She hit 2 bad sets, like 2 really, really rough sets.
Right.
And this was someone who got booked. Like, she had a couple shows, like 3 months in, she got booked on, like, cool shows. She had 2 bad sets. Haven't seen her since.
Wow.
Haven't seen her since.
That's something.
Because you know how fucking much it sucks to bomb?
Bombing does suck.
It's like that. You had it where like, you're sweating, and you're like...
But it's like those cliche shirts that are like, a bad day fishing is better than a good day at work.
Yeah.
Like, that's just common. I mean, if you actually enjoy it like that, then that's all it is. You're like,
Well, that's the thing I think it is if you enjoy it, in the moment it hurts, and for a couple hours afterwards, well, like you get a few days removed, and it becomes hilarious.
Yeah.
It becomes so funny.
Well, it's like there's people that, like, they go to the casino every weekend, and whatever the equivalent is of bombing at the casino, that's what they do. But, like, they really enjoy doing it, so they're just going to go back next weekend, and, hey, maybe they'll kill.
Yeah, dude, and the thing is, man, it's like I said, when you get removed from it, some of those are funny. I think my worst bomb, like my worst personal bomb, the one that hurt the most is I was dating this girl, and she broke up with me. And she happened to be a beer tender at one of the mics. So I get there. This is like 2 days after we broke up. So I'm thinking, we're going to get back together. I'm going to be able to fix this, blah, blah, blah.
Right.
I get there. It's just me and the host. And there's probably like 7 people in the room. And like there's like this metal sheet where you pour the beers. It's kind of reflective.
Right.
And so I'm talking to her. And we're making polite conversation. We're being nice. I was like, oh, maybe I can get her back. And then like I see her bring up her phone. And it's her on Bumble texting someone already. And it just hit me like, fuck. And then as soon as I saw that, they called my name. And, dude, I went up there. And we were doing 10-minute sets. I was in my feelings and bombed. Like, not even, like, good jokes. Just me being like, my uncle was a drug dealer. I got molested. Like, just fucking heavy. Look like I'm sad and I don't want to be here right now. Bomb.
Damn.
Oh, it was so bad, dude.
You became the comic that uses stage time for therapy.
Oh, yeah, dude. It was the worst. And there's just like, it was like a nice place.
Yeah.
So, like, these are like upper middle class people just seeing this dude have an emotional breakdown on stage.
I had a really good bomb on a paid show once. And I feel really, really bad about it. Like, every time I think about it.
Mm-hmm.
I did Chuck Lipscomb's show at the Smoke Spot.
Yeah, I did that one. I like that one.
Bro, I wanted to like it so bad, but I don't think like even like the joke that I close with, like, not even like really anything.
Nothing.
Like, they just like from top to bottom, they're like, we don't fucking like you.
Those are tough.
Dude, I got paid for that, and I really like. I felt so bad. Like, I would like to do his show for free sometime, just to like.
You bomb so hard, you don't want to take the money, and you don't want to be in the picture of all the comedians.
Like,
on
I
stage.
did so bad and got money. I just want to come try again to give you a good one for free. Like, dude,
there's and like that's the thing, man. I think there are some people who just can't handle a room of like 15 people going, nah, dude.
It's so punishing.
It's the worst. The thing is like I'm not sure if there's much of an equivalent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the bodybuilder doesn't go to the gym and like one day the weights are like, sorry man, we're heavier than we were yesterday. And it's just like, what?
Yeah.
No, like imagine that. It's like imagine a bodybuilder goes in and tries to deadlift, 400 pounds, which he can do any other day of the week.
Well, maybe he's sore though. Maybe he's more sore one
Who
day,
knows?
so he bombs.
I don't know, man. I don't know what. Sometimes bombing comes out of nothing. I've been angry and killed. I've fucking been hungover and killed. And then sometimes it's like you think all your shit's in a line. You think the room's gonna like you, and then
that's the worst.
Fucking don't.
When you're like, this is gonna go well, and then it doesn't.
I don't even think that anymore. I never think that.
Really?
I've been having a hot streak lately, but like I'll go up and I'm like I'm about to bomb. That fucking when I did 30 minutes in Richmond, I was like this is about to be this is about to ruin this show.
I did feel really good about that show on Saturday the whole way up there, but that is only because I had just ran like a very similar set the night before and did very well.
I was just excited to just be like, all right, cool, I'm getting paid to do comedy. Right. Like I told you earlier, like I went on like a 2-week vacation basically with my girl, and I came back and I'm broke. I'm just broke. I literally paid for groceries with comedy money. So
that's good.
I know it's something. I had the first moment, which I think if you do it long enough, every comic's gonna have. But it's just like a comic's coming to town that I was like, oh cool, I'll go see him. Have a show that night, and it's just like, well, that's cool, I guess. Like, I guess I don't get to go see this guy I want to see, but I am booked. That's cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Getting booked always feels good, especially like, I don't know, especially when you start like, because like when you first start, everything you're booked on, you're not getting paid.
No.
And then like you get like
maybe
$10,
or a drink ticket.
Yeah. Once in a while, someone will throw you a spot. You get like 30 or 40. You're like, yeah, man.
Mm-hmm.
You go there, have a couple drinks and tip. You've spent 30 to 40.
Yeah. Man, and I think that's just how it's gonna be for a while. And like, the thing is, I'm really taking it to heart because like I've heard like Soder talk about it on podcasts where it's just like, or fucking even Gillis, where it's like they talk about how much they loved this time in comedy.
Right.
Because like think about it, like say everything goes how we want it, right? In the next 5 years, me and you're not gonna see each other every week.
No.
You know what I mean? Like you're gonna be you'll be doing a show in Tampa. I'll be in fucking Houston. Nick will be in fucking Denver. Brandon will be in fucking L.A. And it's just like, fucking Denver sucked. It was just like, well, the fucking comedy condo in Houston has bugs, and it's like shit like that.
It's funny because like Nick was telling me when we were talking. He texted me the day of the show and he was like, "Hey man, like I'm sorry. I wish I could do like the show with you." And I'm like, "Bro, you're doing a guest spot for Dave Attell,
which is huge.
Don't you ever feel bad about that?"
Yeah, I was so excited for him.
I would have bailed. It could have been like a For the Homies by the Homies show with you and Nick and like all of our closest friends.
Mm.
But if I get hit up and someone's like, "You want to do time on the Attell show?"
I'm getting anxious just thinking about that.
It's like
I would do it, but I would be so anxious the whole time.
Like, you're not allowed to be mad at me for bailing for that reason.
If you're mad at someone for bailing for that reason, you're a shitheel.
You're a shitty comic yourself then.
Yeah. That's like a weird thing, man. It's just there's very much a crab and in the bucket kind of thing when it comes to comedy.
Well, that's another thing though that I really like it. I mean, when like just when comics like, man, like, sorry, like I would come to your show or whatever, but like I'm booked on this. I'm like, bro, like we're both booked on the same night on different shows. Like, what more can you ask for? That's good.
Well, the weirder part is like for me, it's like now I'm like on the upper echelon of the open mic scene here.
Right.
So like I'm one of those guys that like it's so nice that Jeff will give me extra time when I come to one of his mics.
Yeah, or you work on stuff.
Or Barry does. I fucking straight up before I did the 30 minutes in Richmond, I was like, I literally asked Barry, I was like, hey man, like, hey, I haven't gone up in like a week. Do you mind if because he was like we're doing 12 minutes sets. Like, hey, do you mind if I do like 15, 17, something in there? You're like, yeah, go for it. Like that. I feel so blessed. Because, dude, I remember when I first started out, like how stoked I would be if like, all right, guys, we are doing 5 tonight. And you're just like, yes, oh my God, I finally get to do the whole thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Or like I'd go to Bucketheads and once in a while someone would be like, you want one of the showcase spots? And you're like, oh, I got to do 7 instead of 5.
It's like, whoa, dude. And like when they're fresh. That was the odd thing about Bucketheads is sometimes it had a really good, it would have like almost consistently had a good crowd.
I like that place a lot.
It was like, and it was this weird little space that was great for comedy.
There was that Polly cop and his wife.
Yeah, that guy.
They'd come out every week.
That was a lot.
Yeah.
That was a lot. There was a lot of those people. Yeah, man, that was what a fun room. R.I.P.
R.I.P. to Bucketheads.
But that's another thing that happens. It was like we were on a show. We're not gonna do too many details, but the venue got raided by the police.
There we go.
So it's kind of on hold as of now. But like I was talking to the guy who runs that show, and he was like so apologetic, and I was like, man,
it's not your fault.
It's not your fault, and also that's comedy. I legitimately think the best room in the 757 since I've done comedy was Zeke's.
Really?
Zeke's is gone, man.
The place doesn't exist anymore?
The coffee shop exists, but the guy who... So it was kind of thing where like the co-owner liked comedy, and he kind of did comedy a little bit. Like he performed a little bit. But then he was one of those guys who he was smart, and he could learn... He could fucking pick up the fucking which way the wind was blowing. It was like, well, I'm not very funny, and I can't be consistent enough to get funny, but I can produce shows. And he produced... Like, it's on my Instagram somewhere, but it's the best flyer I've ever been on.
Really?
It looks like a professional fucking flyer.
Nice.
And it was this coffee shop, and it had low ceilings, and it was tight, and they served alcohol, and they had really good food.
That's cool.
And it was a great spot, and it was so conducive for comedy. But it was kind of thing where like half the staff didn't like us because this was like the middle of like Trump, and like the woke people just being super like unforgivable, like any wrong word, unforgivable.
I'm sure I got into comedy at the right time if you're talking not wanting to hear everybody's political jokes.
Oh, dude, it's constant. And that's another thing. That's one of the reasons I don't do topical jokes. I remember being at the Southern like 2 weeks after Kobe died and seeing so it's probably 13 comics on the list, 15 somewhere in there. About half to more than half had Kobe jokes.
Of course they did.
And it's so odd when it's just like, how do you watch 4 people go up and bomb with a Kobe joke, and you're like, well, mine's gonna work.
Mine's better than this.
Yeah. I don't. Same thing happened. Like I was doing comedy when the VB shooting happened.
Right.
I was shocked how many people want to do jokes about the VB shooting, the week of the VB shooting at Kazi's. It was a lot.
You were shocked?
I was shocked.
You were shocked?
I was shocked.
Shot.
Shocked. Shot?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's my VB shooting joke.
Pretty good. Solid.
Thanks.
Shot that mermaid guy.
Yeah.
Poseidon.
Yeah. That was the punchline.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, no, I find that stuff so strange, and it's just you get people. I guess this is because there's this weird confidence with comedy, especially with people doing comedy. I'm sure you've met a handful of delusional comics.
Yeah.
So, like someone who maybe gives themselves multiple titles, and this like you're an open micer. I don't know why you have
multiple titles.
Yeah. So say if I was like Duke Hurricane, the comedian.
Oh man.
Yeah. And you'd be like, you're an open micer.
You said Duke Hurricane, the comedian?
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's my comedy name. You didn't know that?
Yeah, dude. Freaking comedic royalty, huh?
Yeah.
Man.
Well, so me and my buddy Monty Giles, you know him.
Monty.
Me and him were joking about like if I started signing up on open mics. This is years ago, but signing up on open mics as Hurricane. It's like going up there, like your next comic, Hurricane. And I just go over there, I'm like, so dating's weird, you guys. Like this is the silliest name I could think of, and just be same jokes.
That's good.
Yeah, just straight.
Dude, that's like there was this one guy that used to go up, and they'd be like, coming next to the stage, Dwight Boyant.
Oh, I remember when you were doing that. Yeah.
That was you know what? When I stopped doing that, I started getting funnier.
Yeah, I still think about the Dwight Boyant.
What's crazy was so here's what's funny, right? Because I used to always be like the white boy, right? Wherever I'd go to the kickbacks, they'd be like, oh, you know, such and such, and this is my white boy aunt. So like that just became the thing, like on like PlayStation, like my name, the white boy aunt, like on all my like social, and I've since like changed them, of course, to Aunt Prez Comedy, but like before they were always like the white boy aunt. So when I started doing comedy, I was like, all right, cool, like that goes. That's what people know me as. And then I went to Philly, and I did the open mic at Soul Joel's, not at Philly, outside of Philly.
Yeah.
But I did the open mic that was at Soul Joel's, and of course I wrote that down, and then they were like, you know, coming up next to the stage, the white boy aunt. And then I walked on stage, and I looked at everybody on the stage, and I think I even made a joke about it, because I was like, I am normally the whitest guy on stage, and that's why I go by the white boy aunt. But I am the least white person here right now, and I don't want to do that anymore.
Well, and that's just a prime example of like being in a bubble. You're just in this little bubble where that works for so long, and then you get out of it. I think about that.
No, it never worked.
Yeah, I mean, it works when it's like your friends, or it works. It kind of works around here. I could see. But like it's same thing. Like I watch dudes like they have jokes, and it's just like they'll have jokes about fucking Jefferson Street, fucking or Warwick, and it's just like.
You want to know what's funny though? You want to know the funniest thing about going by like putting Dwight Boyant on like lineups was when I first started. I don't think there was a single black comic except for Tyrell that didn't completely read it the first time. They're like, the white boy Ant. Like, this is Ant. That's what this is. Because even like when I go up to Richmond, sometimes like Benny will say something. He'll be like, man, like the white boy Ant. Like that's you, dude. And I'm like, yeah, bro, but like it just doesn't work everywhere.
It doesn't.
And he's like, man, you could go by that up here. You're the white boy up here. And I'm like, thanks, dude.
Thanks,
I appreciate it, but I had to change it because, well, it was lame.
Yeah, it's lame.
And all my friends, I asked my friends, I'm like, should I go by my name or should I go by this? And they're like, man, go by that. That's good.
Yeah. We've had a couple conversations like that.
Ugh, just a bad thing. And then when I change it, some people are like, why are you changing it? And I'm like, just trust me, dude. Like, it's for the better.
That's one of those things that always makes me laugh. It's like that. Do you remember when you came back from Austin and you were doing that joke about getting all the pussy?
Yeah.
do you remember the talk me and you had about it?
You told me, you were like, I think it's funny when you do it, but...
No, so I told you, it's like, I think that's really funny. And then later you're like, well, that just never works. Do you think I should keep doing it? And I was like, is this... like, all right, am I being a comic right now or your friend? You're like, be my friend. I was like, don't do that ever again. It's not funny. I thought it was funny because my friend was doing it. And, like, it was funny that, like, I was basically setting you up to run straight into a wall.
It is funny.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Where, like, you set your friend up, like, or your friend bombs, and it's really funny.
I think it's really funny to watch my friends bomb.
Or like
I don't want to watch them bomb all the time, but when you know someone's funnier than like what you see up there,
that's what makes it funny. If like I know you're better than this,
yeah.
So this is because I know this is driving you nuts. Yeah. Or like there's something fun about being a dickhead with people you're close with.
Right.
Or like how like if you show up late and then your name gets pulled first and you're like. You just like go up on stage and you're like, haha, everybody.
Yeah.
I just got here, and somehow it always works out. You get pulled before everyone else.
Yeah, but whenever I get there like an hour early, I go up like 25th.
Yeah, I went up fucking late last time.
Ugh, it's the worst.
Yeah, I don't mind going up late. So that's the thing, man. I try to take everything. It's just you got to work it for what it is.
Yeah.
Whatever the fucking set is, whatever the fucking room is, you just got to fucking work it, man.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. I normally, like, no matter what the room is like, I never bomb but so hard at Kazi's, even, like, on my bad night. I have noticed that, like, as I've gotten more confident in, like, just being on stage, where it's like, if I can go up there and be like, okay, I'm funny, and I wrote these things because they're funny,
mm-hmm.
and I just, like, have that confidence through the whole act, then I feel like you can definitely bomb, but, like, you'll bomb a lot harder, or I would bomb a lot harder without that mindset.
I also just think the more you do comedy, the longer you're in comedy, your degree of what bombing is changes. Because it's like it's gonna be so hard to go back to being a guy who's been 3 months in the comedy.
Yeah.
And you've only been on stage 12 times.
Right.
Of like I'm probably getting close to being on stage over 1,000 times.
For sure.
And it's just like I'm gonna bomb.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bomb sometime after this show. Probably bomb a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm never gonna be at the point where it's like, oh, I've never been in this. This has never happened before.
Yeah.
I've never had a lady having a screaming match with me and me not knowing what to do.
Yeah.
Because you have that. That's the thing. Every time, even bad sets, sometimes you can learn shit. You can fucking learn shit of just like, okay, this is how that went wrong.
Right.
Oh, I guess I went too hard. Because, like, I've done the thing, like when an audience member's talking a lot and the rest of the crowd's annoyed with them, so you burn them.
Oh, yeah.
And the crowd loves that.
When you know the crowd is all tired of the person,
yeah.
Oh man, you can really get on
And
them.
the thing is, sometimes you can do it too much, though. Because I done that. Where
Really?
It's like, I go back to that well one too many times. And, like, the first time they love it. The second time they're like, yeah. And the third time, like, get her again. The fourth time, like, all right. The fifth time, they're like, for real?
Yeah.
And that last time you do it, and you get nothing out of it, so it's just you kind of just being mean to a lady, you're just like, fuck. Because it's hard to go like, oh yeah, well you're a fucking cunt.
It's like when I was picking on that lady at the show we were at on Saturday.
Well, that went well.
Yeah, dude, that was so funny.
But imagine that had gone poorly, is what I'm saying.
That would have been way funnier.
It's like some guy goes, what the fuck you say? And throws a drink at you?
I forget what she said, but it was something nasty. And I said, because she was just like talking a lot.
It was that lady like front row left?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah.
And I said, after the show, I'm going to let you take your teeth out and show me something real. And it killed. But if that line bombed,
yeah,
You know how funny that would have been to me?
Oh, it would have been way funnier in the comics. That would have been the best part of you having that on video.
I would have. I wouldn't have been able to keep if I said that and the room just went dead silent. I wouldn't have been able to keep my composure on stage.
Mm-hmm.
I've been trying to do better about like not laughing like at my own jokes on stage and stuff like that. But like, I would have cracked me up if everybody was like, "What did you just say to her?" You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I said I'm gonna get some top from Nana. Like,
yeah. And that's the thing, man. Of like just doing comedy so much, you just kind of start to learn like the ebbs and flows of stuff and what you can and can't do, and it's kind of like learn. And that's the thing. Sometimes you can get out in the weeds with weird shit. Like I've done that too, where it's like I'm pretty good about now. Where if I throw a line to try to do like a crowd work line with somebody,
right,
and I can kind of feel out it's not working.
right.
I can usually find a way to pivot out of that to make it funny. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because like I'll see some dudes like they'll throw a line and the guy doesn't respond and they'll just keep throwing the line and it's just like you gotta pull away.
You're not gonna catch anything with this one.
Yeah. I'm very quick now. It's like I go, man, what do you do? And they ignore me. It's like, all right, what about you? Is there like this immediate like, all right, I'm just gonna cut this off.
Right.
Or like I'm sure you've seen it where like I'll give the person a fake name or whatever. I'll call them like Megan or whatever, and they'll be talking because I'll ask them a question. They'll start talking like Megan. It's my time. I'll do that. Like that usually gets a laugh. It's so silly. There's stuff where it's like I don't think it's funny, but I know it's funny.
Right.
That people will laugh.
Right.
Like I'm not sure if you heard me say it, but like I have this joke about being stopped by the border patrol, like me and my girlfriend being waved through a border patrol stop.
Yeah, they barely even stopped you.
So the joke I always make because it's so stupid, but it's gotten consistently laughed, which is like, oh yeah, I don't know if you guys know this, like New Mexico,
right
next to Old Mexico, and that's a stupid joke. I think if you wrote it on paper, no one would laugh at it. But there's something about if you're already kind of following along in the thing, if you're already on the ride.
It's just a goofy little, like,
it's a goofy little one.
Yeah,
a goofy little one line, and people are like, that's funny. So, yeah, dude.
Old Mexico.
Old Mexico.
Good old Mexico.
Good old Mexico, dude.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Where do we go from here?
I don't know. I feel like we're heading towards the station, though.
I think so. I might close this pizza box and shut this shit down in a few.
All right, yeah.
You got anything you want to say?
Follow me on Instagram, Addison L. Hall. All my dates are going to be on that. I post about what shows I'm on. I got a bunch of stuff coming up. I got multiple like book shows. I'm doing like Sandman 1st of March. I don't know when this is going to be out.
Heck yeah. Probably won't be out by the 1st of March.
Yeah, so I got some other stuff lined up. So yeah, just follow me on Addison L. Hall. I'm going to be at Fort Eustis, stuff like that. I'm going to do a bunch of shit, dude.
Follow him on Instagram, everybody.
Yeah, buddy. Thanks for having me. This was fun.
Yeah, this was a good time.
It was a good time.
I'm going to have a hell of a time editing this one because...
you should just bleep out names when we said them.
Nah. I'm going to do the bleep in a bad way.
That'd be funny. Just goes beep, bear, the comedian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But or like a quick beep, one that you can clearly hear past.
Beep, yeah.
Those are good. I like when the people do those.
That's funny. Yeah, man. That'll be... So this is going to be video and audio?
Yeah. I'll post it in some places and post it in others.
Are we going to do clips?
Yeah, I think I want to make clips with the outtakes.
That'll be good.
Yeah.
That'll be pretty good.
I think so. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Even though like I've got like a couple episodes banked, but
because what you did one with Nick and you did one with Matt, right?
Yeah. So that was Nick was one. So funny thing, right? With Nick, the first episode we did, I only recorded like 11 minutes and my phone died, so
Hilarious.
I didn't pull back the curtain a little bit. I record on a phone.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I hope that phone's not dead right now.
Could be. I feel like we've been talking for a minute.
It's about an hour.
Oh yeah.
About an hour. Yeah, I checked a second ago. But yeah, no, it'll be fun. Yeah, it'll get out.
Yeah, this was fun. It was kind of a strange meandering podcast, but I enjoyed it. What are you doing?
It was a little like floaty.
Oh.
Like yeah.
You know what? No, I don't feel like we did hear this during this podcast.
What didn't we hear during this podcast?
Sirens.
We didn't hear any sirens during this podcast.
Which was interesting.
You're right.
It's a quiet night in downtown Newport News, which is unusual.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We have not heard any sirens.
Not a one.
You know what that means?
Crime took the night off?
No, we need to close this podcast down and go do some crime.
Yeah. Let's go.